has been 4 seasons since Danny Werfel led the Florida Gators to their last SEC title. A shocking loss to Mississippi State almost spelled disaster for the Gators season. But a pair of freshmen, Jabbar Gaffney and Rex Grossman, have returned the fun of the fun and gun offense, and Florida continues to stalk the Eastern Division title. We welcome you to the Home Depot presentation of college football on CBS. Today, an SEC East battle between the Bulldogs of Georgia and the Gators of Florida. It's been called for at least 50 years the world's largest outdoor cocktail party. 80,000 lucky enough to have tickets today. Half of them dressed in the blue and orange of Florida, the other half in the red and black of the University of Georgia. And we have an early Halloween treat for you on this Saturday afternoon. Another war between the states as Georgia takes on Florida. Both teams ranked in the top 15. Georgia with a 6-1 record, and the Florida Gators also at 6-1. Here come the Bulldogs. And here comes Florida. In Columbia this afternoon, South Carolina, they have a lot to say about the SEC East. They have a 4-point lead at the moment over Tennessee. The Volunteers, however, are threatening. South Carolina with a magical season thus far, 7-1 coming into today's play. And you see the respective records of Florida and Georgia, so you get a sense of what is at stake this afternoon. And good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist. We welcome you to Jacksonville and to Alltel Stadium. These two teams first played each other in 1904. They're going to have at each other again, and we're fortunate enough to be here to watch it. An interesting perspective on this game between the two quarterbacks, Quincy Carter and Rex Grossman.
Well, so many players that play for Georgia who are from Florida, so many players that play for Florida who are from Georgia, so many people who live in the state of Georgia who are great Florida fans, and vice versa. And all that brings is just a great football game, a great rivalry, a great cocktail party.
I understand that there is a rivalry, but to me it means, a chance to play for the SEC championship. So, the rivalry is great and everything. It makes it a lot more exciting, but at the same time, I'm plenty excited for, just the game.
Don't you get an idea that Rex Grossman's perspective will change a little bit when he becomes a senior here? He gets his 3rd start today. Meanwhile, good news for Georgia fans. Quincy Carter went down with a bruised rotator cuff on his non-throwing shoulder. That was 2 weeks ago, late in the game against Vanderbilt. But he did manage to practice every day this week. He had to sit out the win at Kentucky last week, but Quincy Carter good to go for today. Well, we thought for just a moment about a 3-man booth for this afternoon. We decided to settle for the silent presence of the pumpkin and the words of my partner, Todd Blackledge.
Well, Vern, this game is shaping up to be a heck of a matchup, and there are 3 key game stories that I'm going to be following during the course of the afternoon. The first is the inside matchup between Florida's center and their 2 guards against Georgia's senior defensive tackles, Richard Seymour and Marcus Stroud. If you want to slow Florida down, you've got to clog the running lanes and pressure the quarterback to disrupt his rhythm. Stroud and Seymour have the ability to do that. I'm also going to pay attention to the matchup of the 2 quarterbacks. Quincy Carter is the guy with the experience, but he's 0-2 in this game. Rex Grossman comes in as the quarterback who is probably the hottest in all of college football. Whichever guy manages the game better today, keeps his poise, will lead their team to victory. And finally, the turnover story. Florida has had the upper hand in this series in both wins and turnovers, and when they force turnovers, they capitalize with points. Ironically, the only game that Georgia has won in the last 10 years was 1997. It was also the only game that they committed fewer turnovers than the Florida Gators.
Well, we have a 3rd member of our commentary team down on the sidelines. Let's check in right now with Jill Arrington.
Thanks, Vern. I'm here with Georgia's head coach. tell me, Coach, this game has huge SEC championship implications. I know Florida has dominated in the 90s. How will today's game be different?
Well, it's 2000. That helps us a little bit, but we're looking forward to it. I know the Gators are tough. Our team's ready to play. It should be great for college football.
Thanks, Coach Donnan.
All right, Jill, thank you. 40,000 dressed in blue and orange, 40,000 in red and black. And here's an anomaly. UGA says they are playing for the 79th time. Florida says this is the 78th game. The discrepancy occurred in the first meeting, 1904. The Florida folks say they were not chartered as a state university until 1906, so that game doesn't count. Now, the fact that Georgia won that game 52-0 might have something to do with how both schools view it. Bo Carroll, one of two deep men. He is flanked by Leto Shepard, number 3. Brett Kerouac will kick off. Number 95. For the Bulldogs of Georgia, we are underway. 79 or 78. In the corner, out of bounds. Not the way Jim Donnan might have envisioned his team starting this game.
Well, you talk about what this game is, a border war. There's a couple brothers. Ryan Fleming's a linebacker for Georgia. His brother Reed is a freshman linebacker at Florida. The parents are sitting and cheering for both players, and they will match up on each other in the special teams as we take a look at Rex Grossman. Again, the hottest quarterback in college football right now, 14 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
And he gets his 3rd start today, first time away from the Swarm. 1st and 10 for the 35. Grossman down the middle for his tight end, and it's picked off by Berea. Terrell Berea, number 15, returns it to the 50, down to the 45. That is the first interception Grossman has thrown as a starter.
Vern, there's a flag down, but the penalty is going to be an illegal formation on Florida. They didn't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage, and of course Georgia will decline the penalty. Rex Grossman, take a look at what he sees now. Georgia is a heavy cover 2 defense. They're running a guy with the tight end, and the safety's helping over the top. Berea got the interception, but also credit Will Witherspoon with making this a tough throw for Grossman. He was right on the tail of the tight end, Aaron Walker, and a bad throw by Grossman. And we've seen him the last couple weeks. He has not made many bad throws.
Job is left man on the line of scrimmage. That penalty is declined. We have a dead ball, personal foul. After the return against the intercepting team, the interception stands. Georgia has the ball, 1st and 10.
Rogers Redding, our referee today, able to sort all that out for us. So Rex Grossman gets his 3rd start of the day, 1st interception as a starter, and significantly only the 4th interception thrown by Florida quarterbacks all year.
They have really protected the football well. Only 8 turnovers so far. Now Quincy Carter with an opportunity, even though this penalty takes them back into their own territory, still great field position off the turnover. And again, we talked about the turnovers have really told the story in this matchup over the last 10 years. A big break early for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Only the 9th turnover of the season. They had also only lost 5 fumbles in 7 games. Now Quincy Carter, 1st and 10 Georgia. Movement, left tackle, tight end. Javaris Johnson and Jonas Jennings both were leaning.
Georgia trying to create a little confusion on the first play. They shifted their tight ends. They had some motion, and right in here you're going to see both the tight end and Jennings start a little bit early.
Alex Brown quick off the ball. He had one of his 2 monster games in '99 in this battle. Alex Brown, number 13. The other, of course, came against Tennessee, and has had, by the standards he set in 1999, a modest game, modest season, but he really came on when we saw them 2 weeks ago against Auburn. Later given credit for 3 sacks in that game by the coaches. Here's Carter, pumps, caught and dropped. Excellent defensive pressure. Clint Mitchell, number 94, with the sack, and will set the Georgia offense. Up front, Jonas Jennings, the most accomplished of the offensive line, joined by Peyton McGill, Breedlove, and John Stinchcomb. Jasper Sanks and Brett Milliken in the backfield. LeBron Mitchell, Terrence Edwards are the wideouts, and Javaris Johnson the tight end. Damian Gary comes on the field, number 18. LeBron Mitchell and Reggie Brown line up wide to the left. So it's a spread formation, 4 receivers. Carter goes right, and it's in and out of the hands of Terrence Edwards, and then in and out of the hands of Lito Shepherd.
This looked like a pretty good throw by Quincy Carter. He looks off the safety, comes back to his favorite target, Edwards. It's tipped. The ball was tipped by an inside guy, and that's what caused the ball to go behind Edwards and then right to Lito Shepherd. One of the linebackers crossing in front of the play got a hand on it and changed the course of the throw.
That gives Georgia a 3rd down and 20. Stunts by the defensive line. Mitchell gets pressure. Carter flushed out. Nice spin move. He is forced out of bounds at the 45. That's still 7 yards short of the first down, but a nifty 12-yard pickup by the junior quarterback. And let's go back to Tim Brando and get an update. Tennessee and South Carolina.
All right, Vern, very important game for both Georgia and Florida. Tennessee's Travis Henry culminates a 16-play drive by plunging in with 26 seconds left. 17-14 the final. The winner of your game, guys, controls its destiny in the East.
Wow. Good comeback for Tennessee on the road. Good comeback for Travis Henry. Had a critical fumble there in the second half.
Here is Jonathan Kilgo. Nice, deep, high punt. He had a marvelous game last week in the rain in Kentucky when he stopped 3 of them inside the 10. This one takes 1 bounce too many. A 55-yard punt for Kilgo. Nothing on the return. Well, we are underway. Georgia, Florida from Jacksonville. Back in a moment.
Want to start a family?
Right now?
I just got supplemental insurance.
What's that?
Aflac. Well, if we get sick, our health insurance won't cover things like lost pay or other expenses. This does.
What's it called?
Aflac. I don't know.
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
My turn. The power and performance of rigid wet dry vacs. Built so heavy duty they carry a lifetime warranty. Like our 16-gallon vac that converts to a 210-mile-per-hour blower in seconds. And the Home Depot's got it for just $99 every day. Rigid. Buy it at the Home Depot.
Check this out. It's the NetVista S40 desktop. It's got an Intel Pentium 3 processor, USB ports, cool design. And when you buy it at IBM.com, there's a call me button you can click, and within 5 minutes, a tech expert like Leon will call and answer any questions.
I'll be home soon. Yeah. Yeah. You know who I'll be? Walrus man. Walrus. 450 megahertz should be fast enough. Uh-huh.
Well, maybe not Leon.
My guys, the New York Jets, are the kings of the fourth quarter. Well, now they got to take on another comeback kid, Doug Flutie and his Bills. CBS Sunday. I'm so excited I can barely eat. Well, I can eat, but I'm excited.
13:34 to go first quarter. Second play offensively for Florida. Rex Grossman intercepted on the first offensive play of the game. Hagenbrook in motion. The handoff goes to Robert Gillespie, and he weaves his way out near the 28-yard line. Let's check the Gator offense, averaging 42 points per game. Pearson, Moody, Jorgensen, Hires, and Walker. The offensive line. And behind them, Gillespie gets the start again today. Rod Frazier, the fullback. Gaffney's having a splendid season. Rashay Caldwell, the tight end is Aaron Walker. 2nd down and 2, an 8-yard pickup. Here's the handoff to Gillespie, who is popped. I believe that was Richard Seymour was the first man there, and then Kendrell Bell also filled the gap, number 37. Georgia's defense anchored by the 2 massive tackles. Stroud and Seymour, both 6'6", 300. Grant and Millard on the outside. The linebackers, Witherspoon, Bell, and Gilbert. 3rd down and 1. The toss, Gillespie gets outside by Millard. 1st down, Florida at the 40-yard line. The tackle made by Jermaine Phillips, and we'll give you a quick look at the Georgia secondary. Jamie Henderson, Jermaine Phillips, Terrell Berea, who had the interception on the first offensive play, and Tim Wansley, the cornerback.
Watch Josh Millard. He's thinking inside. Everybody on Georgia's defense is thinking an inside run. Good call by Steve Spurrier with the quick pitch outside. And Millard not able to chase down Gillespie before he gets the 1st down. Good play call.
Grossman back, will throw for the 2nd time. Deep left side. Sails on him, intercepted. Picked off by Jermaine Phillips. Grossman might have been popped. He is picked off for the 2nd time in the ball game.
Josh Millard made up for his mistake the previous play. Got great pressure on Rex Grossman. Again, can you pressure the quarterback? I think that's the first time Rex Grossman has got his uniform dirty in the last 3 weeks. Watch the hit right there on Millard. And a very alert Jermaine Phillips there to collect the football. Watch the hit now. Grossman can't step fully into the throw. And the ball sails on him right to Jermaine Phillips.
Prior to this afternoon, the only interception that Grossman had thrown was against Middle Tennessee State. He's now been picked off twice. Deron Haynes is in the backfield, and the handoff goes to Jasper Sanks, number 28.
Vern, I think it is really important that Georgia gets something out of this drive off the turnover. That has been a problem for them, not being able to capitalize on the turnovers they've gotten in this series. 2 interceptions in the ball game. They need to make that show for something.
And Terrence Edwards comes off the field in the huddle. Now, he will be used at quarterback periodically. Not this time, however. Edwards comes wide to the left side. Quincy Carter, still the signal caller, backs in the eye on 2nd and 6. Timeout. $11:23 to go in the opening stanza of this book. 0-0.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the tasty chicken tender sandwich. Or zesty jalapeno poppers. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Introducing something totally new from Verizon Wireless. It's called New Every 2. We'll give you a new digital phone up to $100 value every 2 years for free when you sign up for a 2-year agreement. So you'll always have the latest in wireless technology. It's never been easier to keep up with what's new. New Every 2, only from Verizon Wireless. Join in.
An 8-speaker stereo, just one of over 40 features now standard on the Volkswagen Golf.
Thank you very much, oh, Mr. Roboto, for helping me escape just when I needed to. Thank you.
Ever wondered where's a cop when you need one?
I'm instituting a new shift.
You do this and morale will collapse.
What do you think, the crooks are home watching their kids?
All new The District, CBS tonight.
Georgia with the ball for the 2nd time. First quarter after the interception by Jermaine Phillips. And they're looking at 2nd down and 6. The ball at their own 37-yard line. Double tight end set. Option play. Carter dodges to his right and is down at the 42.5-yard line. It appears about 2 feet short of the first down. Tackle made by Todd Johnson. Let's check the Gator defense. Had 2 really horrid games mid-season, but they've righted the ship in the last couple of weeks. Mitchell, Gurley, Warren, and Alex Brown up front. The linebackers are Natil, Travis Harris, the freshman, and Bam Hardman. And in the secondary, Lito Shepard, Todd Johnson, who's having a splendid season, Marquand Manuel, and Robert Cromartie, who missed the first 5 games of the year with an injury. 3rd and 1. Dive play. Veron Hayes does not carry the ball all that often. That's only his 9th of the year, but he picks up the first down.
Well, he's the short yardage guy. He comes in to run it. He also comes in to lead block. I mean, this is a lot of one-back offense. But they bring Hayes in to play in the short yardage, and he got the first down.
Well, Oklahoma lays a pretty good licking on Nebraska today, 31-14.
Keep an eye on these guys right here, the 2 tight ends, real weapons for Georgia.
Draw play. Sanks, left side, and he runs into Travis Harris, the middle linebacker, and Todd Johnson, the free safety.
Brought down by number 26.
Jasper Sanks, who had a really terrific year last year, marred by the memory from a Georgia perspective of a couple of costly fumbles, one of them in this game.
Yeah, in the 4th quarter, and they were driving and on the 16-yard line of Florida going in when he dropped the football. Take a look at his numbers from a year ago.
And it's been more running back by committee for Georgia this time around. One of whom, Bruce Thornton, is in the deep back now. Gets the handoff and darts to the outside. He is the speed back, but Alex Brown did a nice job of getting down around the ankles and making contact. And Thornton with not much of a gain.
Take a look at what Florida has done defensively. Struggled a lot the first 5 games. Have made a real improvement, particularly in stopping the run. Now they're still at this point giving up 155 yards a game, but great improvement in their last 2 games, and it's directly related to tackling and not being on the field as long. John Hope, his team getting off the field much better the last 2 games.
35. Blitz coming, 5-man rush. Here goes Carter. He's got the first. He's down at the 40. The tackle made ultimately by Marquand Manuel, but a pickup of 10, and they'll move the chain.
This is what makes Quincy Carter so dangerous, is his ability to take a nothing play and make it into something. Good coverage downfield, but they don't cover the middle of the field. Watch the middle open up here as all the defenders run to cover people. Quincy Carter doesn't see anyone open, and he knows he's got a nice lane right through the middle of the field to scramble the football for an easy first down.
Reggie Brown comes in at wide receiver, bottom of the screen. No, that's Brown in motion. Here's the option play. They went for the pitch man, and Carter is let loose. Out of the tackle. Down at the 21.
Quincy Carter hurt Florida last year with the option. He scored 2 touchdowns running the option. There was a question, how much would they use it with the left shoulder injury? You don't want him to take a lot of unnecessary hits. Every time they've used it today, he's kept the football, and he's been effective running. Florida right now has to recognize his shoulder must be pretty good. We better be sound fundamentally against the option.
Already in the ball game, 5 carries, 41 yards, and Musa Smith is in the lineup. Here comes Smith, the freshman from Pennsylvania, who has become a huge favorite in Athens. And Carter was popped and gets up slowly behind the line of scrimmage. A 13-yard gain. Musa Smith 2 weeks ago thought to be lost for the year with a partially torn meniscus.
Watch the hit right there on Carter. He's able to get the ball to Smith, and you see what they like about Musa Smith. He's a big power back, but he also has the speed to get outside. Kennard Ellis is the guy who hit Quincy Carter, but Musa Smith makes the play. There it is. I mean, when a quarterback comes down the line on an option, you got a free shot at him. You better take it.
Gain of 13. He'll get the ball again. Stiffened as he gets to the 6-yard line. A gain of 2. Mike Natil makes the tackle. Well, pretty effective red zone offense.
Yeah, the big key is, do you score touchdowns? And they've done a pretty good job. Close to 70% touchdowns when they get in there. And Jim Donan's got a lot of weapons. He's got three really good tight ends that he can throw the football to. He's got some powerful backs.
Now Sanks is the deep back in the eye. They'll go with a power formation, but the power back to the right is the flanker.
Watch the option.
Edwards.
There's the option with Edwards.
There's the option with Edwards. Pitch back, Sanks. Good job, defensive recognition by Florida. They've done their homework.
Yep, they sure have. When you have Terrence Edwards, this is Terrence Edwards. He's a wide receiver, but he was a great high school quarterback. And they've shown this. Give it to him and let him run the option down the line. Well defense by Florida. They had the quarterback and the pitch man completely covered.
That will bring up 3rd and goal. 10th play of the drive, scoreless. First quarter, we're halfway through it. Damian Gary, LeBron Mitchell are in.
Keep an eye on Randy McMichael right here.
Here's Carter looking left, finds McMichael. Dropped it.
He doesn't drop many, Vern. He's an excellent tight end. Now, he is not even covered. Unbelievable, a bust on the Florida defense. And McMichael just took his eye off the football. Quick recognition by Quincy. McMichael's got to make that catch.
That's one of those 40 years from now. They're going to ask Randy McMichael, what do you remember about the Georgia-Florida game in 2000? And he will wince. Billy Bennett, the freshman place kicker, comes on. He's been a find for Georgia, and he gives the Bulldogs an early lead. But McMichael sits alone with his thoughts.
Do you remember anything after being scanned?
A human was cloned. That human was you.
Well, you cloned the wrong man.
They'll do anything to destroy the evidence. And you're the evidence.
Daddy?
How do you know? He's not you, and you're not him.
I know who I am.
The Sixth Day, rated PG-13. Opens everywhere November 17th.
Long Easy 316 Delta Bravo, flight at 25 North Carolina.
They get hired by companies like AT&T, GE, and Ford. They get training in over 200 real-world jobs. And they get it in the Army. That's right, the Army.
Still getting dandruff flakes? Maybe the problem is your dandruff shampoo. Try Neutrogena T-Gel Intensive Anti-Flake Shampoo. Fights flakes 3 ways. It may not be your first dandruff shampoo. It will be your last. Neutrogena T-Gel, it works.
Look, Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Ellie's renting again. And Enterprise picked her up again. She said Enterprise picks her up free. Free? Free. Now that makes renting easy.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
I'll be telling you which teams are headed uptown and which teams are headed downtown.
I'll tell you why he's wrong.
Billy Bennett gives Georgia an early lead of 3-0 as we come to you from Alltel Stadium on the banks of the St. Johns River in Jacksonville, Florida. Better than 80,000 on hand again. Some happier than others.
Well, I'm sure Jim Donnan thrilled to get the points, but as we've seen, you don't beat Florida with field goals. You need touchdowns to beat the Florida Gators.
Kerouac will kick off for the second time. Last time it went out of bounds. He sends this one deep in the end zone where Lito Shepherd decides to return it. Looks like a pretty good decision. Marked out of bounds just short of the 30-yard line. The tackle made by Terrell Vieira. Well, coming up tomorrow, we continue our coverage of the NFL on CBS, a doubleheader for you. Many of you will watch the Jets going into town to take on Buffalo. Pittsburgh at Baltimore, Cincinnati at Cleveland. Jacksonville, my, how they are struggling. But they will go in to take the Cowboys on in the feature game of the second one. And it all begins with the NFL Today tomorrow at 12 Eastern time. Rod Frazier, number 40, is in fullback. Here's Grossman. Drills it. Finds his wide receiver, Rashay Caldwell. And that is out to the 38-yard line. Well, coming into this game, Rex Grossman had the leading pass efficiency rating in the country. He just qualified with the win over Auburn.
He has made it look easy, Vern. I mean, he came in off the bench against Mississippi State and played well. He started the last 2 games against LSU and Auburn. And again, I don't think he even got knocked down in those 2 games. So already today, 2 interceptions, and he's been under a little duress.
Jamar Gaffney in motion. Grossman looks that direction, finds Caldwell for the second time, number 17. There was Gaffney, number 10. Well, Virginia Tech at home against Pittsburgh. Let's get an update from Tim Brando.
Vern, remember the outstanding wide receiver and punt returner Andre Davis is out for this game, so they're going to need a lot from Lee Suggs. His 15th rushing touchdown of the season. Frank Beamer's Cup up 7. Of course, they get Miami, don't they?
Yes, indeed, Tim. They do get Miami next week. First down and 10. Grossman, draw play. Gillespie darts to his left. Picks up a little speed. Steps out of the tackle of Cap Burnett, number 23. Gillespie with a nice run and a gain of 21 yards.
If you want to run the football against Georgia, you got to take care of these inside guys. Watch the middle open up as Gillespie's able to cut it back. Nice block on Jonathan Sullivan. He's the freshman defensive tackle in there right now, giving Marcus Stroud a break. And they picked on the freshman that time.
Robert Gillespie, he and Graham have been the featured backs this year, but they have struggled on the ground. 93rd in the NCAA annals for the year. Play fake, Grossman down the middle, has a man at the 5. Gaffney strolls in. Welcome home, Jamar Gaffney. He grew up in Jacksonville. And for the 11th time this season, the redshirt freshman connects with the redshirt freshman.
Well, Henderson is going to play a man-to-man and knows he has help over the top, but he gives too much separation. He allows Gaffney to get too far away from him, and then Gaffney just eludes a couple poor tackles by Georgia. That was too easy for Rex Grossman and Jamar Gaffney. Got to tighten up that coverage.
Jeff Chandler will add the extra point. Oh, no! Are you kidding me? The all-time leading scorer in Florida history missed a couple in the first game this year and absolutely shanks one left.
One more look at the touchdown. A great drive by Florida after the field goal. Gators on top.
Guaranteed low prices at the Home Depot mean that you can be confident that you're going to walk into our store and find the best price in town.
If we find a better price anywhere else, we'll beat that price. No questions asked.
We will match it and then beat it. That's our guarantee, day in and day out. Everybody says they got the lowest price.
Not only do we have the guaranteed low price, we also have the knowledgeable salespeople on the floor to help you.
We want to be the best price, the best customer service, the best quality product. We want to have the best of everything.
You would be out of your mind if you shop someplace else.
Jamar Gaffney grew up in Jacksonville, played for Raines High School. The only other time he's played on this field, 1991 against Ribault when he was in the 9th grade. But the celebration short-lived with the shanked extra point by Jeff Chandler. Here's Chandler with the kickoff. Bruce Thornton at the goal line. Nice attempted tackle. I thought that was going to be a nice open field tackle. Wasn't quite. Let's see if we can figure out what happened to Chandler.
You think that extra points are automatic? No, they're not. Low, right away to the left. I mean, this one had no chance for Chandler. The hold looks okay. Just a poor kick by Jeff Chandler. And he's been pretty solid the last couple years for Florida. You don't expect that out of him, but you can't expect anything to be automatic when you're kicking the football.
6-3, 1st and 10. Damian Gary is one of the wideouts. There's the option. And a fumble. Recovered by Georgia. The pitch appeared good to Brett Milliken. He just couldn't handle it.
And I like what John Hoke is doing right now. He's saying, okay, Quincy Carter, if you're going to run the option, then we're going to do two things. We're going to make you pitch it, and we're going to knock the heck out of you after you pitch the football. That's what we're going to do. Alex Brown is going to come in and lay a hit on Quincy Carter. Watch Alex right there, pitch the ball, and then make him pay for it. And it ends up being a bad pitch.
Alex Brown with the contact. Here's Carter. Right side, up in the air, down on the ground. Incomplete, 3rd and 12. Intended for Terrence Edwards. And he got bumped.
Yeah, nice coverage. Robert Cromartie and Marquand Manuel. 3 guys there. Todd Johnson. Good tight coverage that time. And maybe a case for Quincy Carter trying to force it to his favorite receiver. 3 white shirts there and only 1 red jersey.
3rd and 12 in a 6-3 game. Darrell Robinson, Damian Gary in along with Terrence Edwards. Carter in trouble. Brown forcing the issue. And up the middle, Gerard Warren. Terrific pressure by the front line of Florida.
Great job up front. They crossed on the inside. Watch the stunt here, and then both ends crash from the outside. Alex Brown forcing the issue, the stunt inside. And Alex Brown is at his best when he knows that you're going to throw the football. That is when he plays his best football, when he can pin his ears back and come after the quarterback.
Jonathan Kilgo on to punt for the 2nd time. Lito Shepherd awaits it near midfield. Not as effective. This one will bounce at the 42, but it does take a Georgia roll and hops all the way down to the 40-yard line. As Shepherd says, I think I'll leave that one alone. 51-yard punt. Let's check in on how the Wildcats of Northwestern are doing. Once again, here's Tim.
Vern, Zach Kustok, the Notre Dame transfer, today 199 yards passing, 90 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. They were down by 21 and came back. A Hail Mary at the end of the game, tipped into the air by Coonley Patrick, caught by Sam Simmons. Northwestern will host Michigan next week, still very much a part of the run for the Rose Bowl. Back to Vern and Todd.
Thank you, Tim. That's about as perfectly executed an alley-oop play as you'll see. 6-3 here. Florida at the 40-yard line. Jabbar Gaffney in motion. Grossman. Deep left side. Got it. No, he did not get it. I thought Caldwell had possession when he went down. Robinson and Kentrell Curry were defending.
You know, sometimes I think as a quarterback, you got to throw it up and let your receiver make a play. This is good coverage, but Caldwell has a great chance to make the catch. There's 2 guys down there, but he gets his hands on the football. You don't always have to have a wide receiver wide open to give him a chance to make the play. Most of the time, wide receivers are more adept at going up in traffic and catching the football.
2nd down and 10. Grossman flips it out for Gillespie, and he motors out to the 50-yard line. That appears to be just short of the 1st down. Bell with a tackle. Test your sports knowledge. Play Aflac Trivia at cbs.sportsline.com or America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline. It's a Gator kind of Halloween for the moment, huh? A lot of pumpkins carved here in Jacksonville this week. 3rd and 1. 6-3. Toss to Gillespie. Works his way for the 1st down. Robinson came in with the initial contact, and Millard went back and finally made the stop, number 98.
And Josh Millard made the stop.
Well, this has been kind of spooky in October for Georgia and Jacksonville. That was Todd Blackledge being tickled about something.
Nice work by our man Sellers Shy there, putting that together.
1st down and 10. Across the middle deep for his tight end, Kirk Wells, number 83. Incomplete.
I thought one of the matchups that favored Georgia coming into the game was their two tackles inside against the center and guards. Watch this push right back through the center, Jorgensen, into the lap of the quarterback. That's Richard Seymour getting there. And even though it's not a sack, it forces a quick and not a good throw by Rex Grossman. That's where Georgia can get an advantage and pressure the Florida quarterback.
5 defensive backs employed by Georgia. Here's Grossman back. 5-man rush. Got a lot of time, but it sails on him. That looked a little bit like a Jacksonville pumpkin. 3rd and 10.
Take a look again now. This time Florida does a little better job. They're a little firmer in there. The two guards in the center. Nice job on Stroud and Seymour. But Grossman nowhere to go with the football because of the good downfield coverage.
Jim Donnan thought Rex Grossman would be affected by this crowd. Do you sense that at all?
I think it's different. You know, he's played 2 games as a starter, and they've both been in front of 85,000 of his best friends. So this is a little different environment, even though it's not a true road game.
Timeout, Florida.
People tossing their yellow pages? There's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions. It's faster, and it's a smarter way to find everything in your town and places your yellow pages doesn't cover. Don't take our word for it. Listen to your neighbors. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
Why is Jack Welch considered the best executive in America? In the whole world, for that matter. The answer Sunday on 60 Minutes.
This game first played in Jacksonville in 1933. Moved here because of the Depression. It was thought that people could get here via train from both Athens and obviously from Gainesville. It became a mainstay here. Has been played in this so-called neutral site every year since '33, with the exception of 2 years when the Gator Bowl was renovated and reemerged as Alltel Stadium.
You know, I was on campus in Athens on Thursday, wanted to get a feel for the flavor, the excitement, and there was nobody there. They called school off on Thursday and Friday so everybody could get down here early.
5 defensive backs in for Georgia again. Out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Grossman deep, has a receiver open for the first down at the 15-yard line. The catch made by Jabbar Gaffney, his second of the ball game. The first went for a touchdown.
Nice job by Jabbar Gaffney finding the hole in the defense. Little combination route. Here he comes now. He reads the zone, sits down right in between the coverage, and Grossman on target with the football. Again, these two have a great feel for each other. It started last year on the scout team together. It's carried over through the summer and certainly over the last month of the season.
First down and 10 at the 35. Pressure. Grossman steps up, goes deep for Taylor Jacobs in the end zone. The catch made out of bounds. Now let's take a look at today's Army Heritage. The festivities for the annual Georgia-Florida border war started Thursday evening and haven't stopped. It was dubbed the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in the mid-50s by Florida Times-Union sports writer Bill Castells. The unofficial name stuck when used again by Sports Illustrated's John Underwood in 1966. Georgia fans take the festivities so seriously. As Todd said, the school was given a couple of days for their fall break to coincide with the game. 2nd and 10. Across the middle again. Catch is made at the 25.
There's a real chess match going on today between Steve Spurrier and his offense and Gary Gibbs, the new defensive coordinator for Georgia. There he is right there, former head coach at Oklahoma, out of coaching for the last 5 years, longtime friend and former colleague of Jim Donnan. And And right now, he's got to try to figure out the best way to slow down this Gator offense. One blitz so far today. That's not his style to blitz, but he may have to go after Rex Grossman a little more.
First down and 10 after the 11-yard gain by Gaffney, rather. And Gillespie stopped behind the line at the 28-yard line. Well, these two, Jim Donnan and Gary Gibbs, were assistant coaches in 1985 under Barry Switzer when the Sooners won a national championship. By the way, the fella just to the left of Jim Donnan, Lucius Selman.
Yep. There's a few of those Selman guys, good football players that went through Oklahoma. Boy, those Sooner teams were good. Man,
apparently they are again.
Yeah, you're right. Big win for them today.
Second down and 14. Here's the toss to Gillespie going left. Gets into the secondary. Tackled at the 21-yard line by Jermaine Phillips.
You know, one of the things I'm really impressed with about Seymour and Stroud is watch how they run to the football. They don't take a play off. Seymour is double teamed here. He can't make a play on the initial point of attack, but watch him continue on the play and run down to get involved in the tackle on Gillespie. That's a 6'6", 300-pound guy running to the football.
Florida leads it by 3. They've got a 3rd and 5 with 21 seconds to go. First quarter. Grossman tipped incomplete. Berea was defending, and Millard was pressuring him.
Second blitz of the game, and a well-timed call by Gary Gibbs. They brought pressure. Pressure's going to come from the outside, and watch, it forces a little bit of a quick throw. They get in the face, a little extra pressure, and Grossman not able to make the accurate throw. Seymour and Stroud in there, Millard in there. Pressure the quarterback, disrupt his rhythm. They did it that time.
Jeff Chandler, whose family probably has conflicted feelings. His dad was a track man at Georgia, and the all-time leading scorer for Florida makes amends for the shanked extra point. He knocks home the field goal from 37 yards. He's one field goal away from tying the record for most made in a career.
John Burgess started this company in a second-floor bedroom.
9 months later, it looks like a good idea.
Jeannie Gagne and Alan Robinson, AXA Advisors.
With new wealth came new responsibility for John and his employees.
We provided key man insurance and estate planning for him.
Deferred compensation and 401ks for his people.
AXA Advisors helps business owners succeed.
It's not just about making it.
It's about making it last.
AXA Advisors, building futures.
College football next Saturday, 12 noon Eastern time. A doubleheader for you. Todd and I and Jill will be down in Miami for Virginia Tech. The Hokies against Miami. Big East battle, and that'll be followed by Alabama against LSU. College football next Saturday.
Today's game, a big game for the SEC East. That one next week, a big one on the west side of the conference.
Everybody
LSU,
in the West with 2 defeats.
LSU right back in it. A couple tough losses for them, but a good job by Nick Saban in his first year.
Here's the kick by Chandler. That'll be a touchback. As Bruce Thornton goes back, takes it, and drops to a knee. So with 3 seconds remaining in the first, time for one more play.
I think Georgia needs in this series to have some success offensively, and I think one of the areas they can attack this Gator defense is with their tight ends. I think their combination, they have 3 guys, Randy McMichael, Javaris Johnson, and Jason Rader, that are as good of a trio of tight ends as anyone I've seen in the country. And those matchups against linebackers inside, I think, really work in the favor of Georgia.
And 2 of those tight ends are on the field right now. Play fake by Carter. Good protection. Lobs it out too far. It was intended for McMichael, who cut in to his right, and Carter threw it over his outside shoulder. That is the end of the first quarter in Jacksonville. With the score 9-3, we'll return to Alltel Stadium right after this message and this word from your local station.
The world is how you see it. It could be anything.
So make the most of every mile. You're one of a kind. Ford's got your ride.
Ford's got your ride. F-150. It's not just a tough truck. It's got a deal that's tough to beat. Every 2000 F-150 now comes with $1,000 cash back. Yup, a whole grand back. So see your Southern Ford dealer soon.
You're one of a kind. Ford's got your ride.
It's your son's birthday. He wants to have a sleepover at the house. He's 37. Crystal, fresh, hot, small, square, $4.99 for a sack full of 10. How many crystals do you need?
Sports with Sam Kouaris on News Channel 4.
There's a good look at UGA 6. UGA. And we begin the second quarter. Here's Carter back to punt. Pass incomplete for Javaris Johnson. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10, and Carter is down. Well, they have made it a point.
Well, he's taken a couple of hits running the option. This time the pocket collapses, and it's Bam Hardman that gets the lick on him. And right now the Florida defense playing downhill against the Georgia Bulldogs.
2 weeks ago against Vanderbilt, Carter injured his left rotator cuff, bruised it late in the game on this run to the right side. That injury forced him out of the game in Kentucky last week. The former walk-on Corey Phillips came on through 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, Corey Phillips was remarkable, and Quincy Carter is still down. Watch the pocket collapse on the inside. The tight end just is trying to hit and then release, and that's where Carter's going with the football. It was a double hit. It was first by Hardman, and then Kennard Ellis got him when he spun around. And Ellis got him on that left shoulder again.
Corey Phillips, who grew up 70 miles from Athens, got his first start ever last week against Kentucky and was terrific. Had a poor first quarter, but after going 1 for 5 to start the game, he was absolutely superb.
Yeah, and he was down in a hole, 13-0 on the road, and then he got it going. And did he ever get it going? 400 yards passing. His receivers made some nice plays with short catches and turning them into big plays. But he hung in there, took some hits, and made play after play, particularly in the second half, as Georgia clawed out the 34-30 win.
Quincy Carter walking unassisted to the near side. And Corey Phillips, the walk-on, is in the cockpit.
And this is not the Kentucky Wildcat defense that he's facing right now.
Corey Phillips grew up dreaming of playing for Georgia. On first down, comes right. Well, whistle before the snap, apparently. And Jill Arrington, what about Quincy Carter?
Quincy Carter has a left shoulder contusion. He's out of the game for now. They're going to keep checking on him and see if they can get him back in.
Well, thank you very much. That was the left shoulder that was bruised 2 weeks ago against Vandy.
And John Hoke told us when we talked to him during the week, he said, look, I can't come out and say that we're telling our guys to go and try to hurt Quincy Carter, but within the rules of the game, when he's fair game, we've got to try to hit him. We've got to try to knock him on the ground. And they have hit him legally today a number of times already here in the first half, and right now he's on the sideline.
3rd and 15 after the dead ball penalty against Georgia. Down the middle it goes, almost picked off. Darrell Dixon, number 34, appeared to have the interception. It goes as an incomplete pass. Georgia will punt.
Excellent cross stunt by Alex Brown in the tackle. Watch Brown right here hesitate and then come inside and get a clean shot on Phillips. Again, when is Alex Brown at his best? When he knows you're going to throw the football, and he gets there with great explosiveness.
That brings on Jonathan Kilgo for the 3rd time, and Lito Shepherd. Florida should come out of this with excellent field position. This one hangs up for Kilgo and takes a short hop left out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Very short 32-yard punt. Carter's on the sidelines, and Florida has a lead.
I was home, homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escape, and home, where my music's playing.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
Hey guys, check this out. Wow. How do you think it got here?
I don't know.
What do you think we should do with it?
We can't leave it here.
Oh, is it dead?
I don't know. See if it's cold. Go on. Huh?
It's cold.
Getting lucky? Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Push, guys, push.
This November, you don't want to miss 1 second of Dave. With Drew Barrymore, Gwyneth Paltrow, Richard Simmons, Adam Sandler, Bruce Willis, and the return of Madonna.
Best starting field position of the ball game now for the Florida Gators at the 47.
Watch out for Florida going for the throat right here.
Grossman looking deep, settles for the out pass left side, and the catch is made at the 45-yard line. A modest gain, the pickup by Ernest Graham. But the big news, of course, Todd, right now, the condition of Quincy Carter and what Corey Phillips can do as long as he's called upon.
Yeah, well, Corey Phillips, you know, the greatest job in America, whether it's college football or pro football, is being a backup quarterback. And right now, it looks like Corey Phillips is going from being the backup to being the guy again for the Georgia Bulldogs. And maybe if he doesn't have the kind of game that he had last week, Jim Donnan doesn't want to put him in right now, but he has confidence in Corey Phillips.
Ball is slipped to Graham. He goes to the 43. Well, we have seen repeated hits on Quincy Carter. Here's what happened to Phillips on his first pass play.
Yeah, if he wasn't ready for the speed of the game when he trotted on the field, he certainly is now with that first hit. But this is a huge play right now for the Bulldog defense. They've got to come up with a stop here and get the ball back to Corey Phillips.
3rd and 6. Just outside the 43. 6 defensive backs in for Georgia. Grossman drifting all the way back to the 38. Lets it fly and throws it away. Virginia Tech tangling with Pittsburgh. Let's check in with Tim Brando.
Vernon, Todd, as you know, Syracuse gave Virginia Tech a scare last week. John Turman is determined to do it again this week. 17 yards to Antonio Bryant to give Pittsburgh a 13-7 lead at Lane Stadium. Don't be looking ahead, Virginia Tech. Look out. Back to Vernon.
Pittsburgh having a terrific season as well.
You know, and I don't think that's that big a surprise because they threw the ball with great effectiveness against Virginia Tech a year ago.
Damian Gary awaits the punt at the 10-yard line now on 4th down. So the Gators unable to move and make use of this good field position. Here's the punt. Nice coffin corner punt by Allen Ryan, number 47.
Well done.
A 39-yard punt, angled perfectly, out of bounds at the 4.
Walker, Texas Ranger, tonight on CBS. It's all here.
Your turn.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Chili's baby back.
Barbecue sauce. Today in Florida, 500,000 people went to the doctor. In Jacksonville, a little girl had her hearing tested. A woman in Tampa learned she was pregnant. And in Miami, a father got some good news about his cholesterol. And even though it was a day of 500,000 reasons to worry, it was a good day. Because the last thing on 500,000 minds was health plans, which is exactly the way it should be. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida. The best health plan is the one you don't have to think about.
Hi, I'm Jeff Lagerman. If you want to get into a great deal on a new car or truck, Nimnick Chevrolet is the place. And right now is the time.
Save on your choice of hundreds of brand new 2000 models as we make way for the 2001s. Take your choice of up to $3,000 cash back or 0% financing for up to 60 months on selected models. And buy any new car or truck right now and get 2 free tickets to any Jaguars home game. Nimnick Chevrolet, the cars and trucks Jaguars love to drive. 1550 Cassett Avenue.
Introducing Chili's baby back ribs. To go.
I think it's going to be about a yard short. Bring it up 4th and 1.
Get in, get out, get on with your life.
Sports with Sean Woodland on News Channel 4.
On a warm day in Jacksonville, some dogs get treated a little more coldly than others. There's Uga the 6th.
My guess is that puppies aren't in the future for Uga.
1st and 10, Carter's back. Quincy Carter hands it off. They pump it up the middle, and it's Musa Smith, the freshman. From Pennsylvania.
Yeah, when I was in Athens the other day, every coach I talked to on the offensive side said, hey, Musa Smith, if we get him back, it's going to be a huge boost because he is the real deal. He is potentially the best back that Georgia has on their roster right now as a true freshman. Great combination of size and speed.
It was thought he would be lost for the season a couple of weeks ago. Arthroscopic surgery. He's made a terrific comeback and is back on the field, as you've seen. Here's a plunge for a couple on 2nd down. That'll bring up a 3rd down. It was Musa Smith again. Had a terrific second half in the Georgia victory at home against Tennessee when he rushed for 47 yards in that one.
And much like the way Rex Grossman kind of recruited himself to Florida, going down early the summer before his senior year, Musa Smith did the same kind of thing when he went to Athens.
3rd and 2 with 12 to go. Carter back, fires it out, tipped and incomplete. Intended for Edwards, and Carter was popped again.
They tried to throw a play-action pass off of the option fake, but Clint Mitchell quickly coming from the backside. Watch 94 get in here and put yet another hit on Quincy Carter's left shoulder. The play action did not fool the Gator defense, and Quincy Carter took a hit at the end.
Lito Shepherd awaits the punt at the 45. Jonathan Kilgo 1 yard into the end zone. The snapper is Andy Hogan, number 52. Good snap. Return is on all the way. Kilgo, nice punt. And the fair catch taken by Lito Shepherd, who gathers it in at the 43-yard line. 11:45 to go first half. Florida by 6.
I love this thing. I can wash it out.
After his girlfriend gave him a Norelco Quadra action, no one could escape Phil's enthusiasm.
Here, give it a feel.
The Norelco Quadra action has satisfied 99% of the guys who've tried it. Norelco, put it to the test.
They were a dream team, determined to go for the red. Now their only way out is sudden death. Red Planet, rated PG-13, starts Friday, November 10th.
Bill Kelly just rewrote his will. To his wife, he'll leave 2 homes and his investment portfolio. He'll leave other assets to his children. All his beneficiaries are here. All except the IRS, who could get 2/3 of everything.
how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
Why are people tossing their yellow pages? There's something better. Switchboard.com, a free directory powered by the internet. It's business listings, it's people search, it's maps and directions. It's faster, and it's a smarter way to find everything in your town and places your yellow pages doesn't cover. Don't take our word for it. Listen to your neighbors. Switchboard.com. Think outside the book.
Tim Brando in New York. And coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, Spencer and I will get you caught up on a big day. How's this for big? R.J. Bowers of Division III Grove City had 128 yards rushing today, one shy of 7,000 in his career. That's the all-time leading rushing mark. Now back to your game.
All right, Tim, we've got a sellout crowd at Old Hill Stadium in Jacksonville. Early second quarter, Florida's Rex Grossman, the quarterback. Play fake, wants to throw, wants a lot, settles for a short pass. The catch is made out of the backfield at the 45 by Ernest Graham. We check in with Jill Arrington.
Today's Georgia-Florida rivalry, there are several players on opposing teams that played together in high school. Georgia's Quincy Carter and Florida's Travis Harris played together at Southwest DeKalb High School in Georgia. And Georgia's DeJuan Green and Florida's Jabbar Gaffney and Lito Shepard played together right here in Jacksonville at Rains High School. So you better bet there's some guys out there trying to prove something on the field today, because this border war is very close to home.
All right, Jill, here's a reverse, and Rashay Caldwell gets the handoff from Grossman. He tried to lateral it back, or it was stripped. I can't believe he would have tried to lateral there, but the ball is loose, and it appears Florida recovered.
Yeah, that was just stripped out. It was Jermaine Phillips who got his hand on the football and pulled it out. And Robert Gillespie came up with it. Watch Jermaine Phillips just rip the football out of Caldwell's hands, and then Gillespie alertly falls on the loose ball. Now, this Jermaine Phillips is an interesting guy to me. I mean, he was a split end last year on this team, had 18 catches. He moved to safety last spring. He started his first game as a defensive back in the opener against Georgia Southern, and he made 14 tackles, and he still plays on offense. He hasn't caught a pass yet, but they use him on offense and defense. He's been a real effective player for them.
In the meantime, there was a flag on the play and illegal shift against Florida, so it's second down and 12. Grossman again gets popped. Bo Carroll makes the catch at the 46-yard line. Kendrell Bell and Tony Gilbert with the tackle.
Watch Marcus Stroud now here, 97. Watch the pressure right over the center and get right into the face of Rex Grossman. Grossman gets it off, it's complete, but he ends up on the ground. And over the time in the course of a game, that adds up.
Grossman hurried 7 times and knocked down 4 thus far. If you did just join us late, his first 2 passes of the game, both interceptions. 3rd and 7. A flip left. And Bo Carroll, who's been injured much of his senior season, is caught short of the first down at the 50-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
Nice play, recovery by Kendrell Bell. You see the speed of this linebacker. He was actually out of position, trailing the play, but watch the makeup speed of Kendrell Bell as he's able to stay on the play, chase it down, along with his other linebacker, Tony Gilbert, and stop the Gators short of the first down.
Second consecutive possession now that Florida's had to settle for 3 and out with good field position. Here's Allen Ryan. His last punt out of bounds at the 4. Damian Gary, fair catch, bobbles it, falls on it at the 8-yard line. Hearts and throats collectively for a few folks wearing red and black. 41-yard punt.
Our business has always been about the direct relationship with the customer. That's what it's always about. What do you want to use a computer for?
I guess the biggest priority is getting online.
I want to make home movies and edit them on the computer.
I'd like to know what I should buy for a teacher.
Give us a call and tell us what you want to do. We'll set you up with a Gateway Essential PC, Intel Celeron processor, and a Year of America Online, all for under $23 a month. Because in Gateway Country, people rule. school.
That's what it's all about.
Well, we build marine winches here and marine deck equipment. My boots, they're very important. I got to walk around all day in them. They better be comfortable and they better be right. These are my feet.
You have to have the equipment to match the environment. Bottom line.
Wolverine DuraShocks, the world's most comfortable boots, guaranteed.
We're not talking about a new kid on the block here. Wolverine's been around a long time.
I got enough hard work to do here in a day that I don't need my feet hurt.
You never know who's going to show up on the NFL Today. Sundays on CBS.
Welcome back to Alltel Stadium. We've got Florida 9, Georgia 3. An update on Quincy Carter. I just talked to the medical staff. They say it's just that shoulder contusion, but he wants to stay in the game. The coaches keep asking, are you okay? He says, yes, coach, I want to play. So he's back out there.
All right, Joe, thank you.
Well, he's a great competitor. You know he's going to say that he wants to play. The question is he as effective as he needs to be?
Hand off to Thornton. He's the speedster, and he rolls out to the 32-yard line.
You talk about an offense that needed a big play. Bruce Thornton is going to give it to him. Good blocking up front. You see the nice cutback. And Thornton uses that speed to get into the secondary. 23-yard run. Before that, only 68 yards. And Uga, a little excitement on the sideline.
Oh, my goodness. After the 23-yard run, Thornton tries it again.
I think one of those ice cubes got caught in his shirt.
Obviously affected by that Thornton run. 9-3, second down and 9. Thornton's longest run of the season.
You know, Vern, Georgia has a great collection of skilled players, probably the best that they've had in a long time. So far today, Quincy Carter has not completed a pass. They don't have any throws to any of their playmakers. Terrence Edwards.
Second and 9. Here's Carter. Little slant pattern. You prognosticator, you.
Got to get him involved.
Tonight on CBS, he's a police chief who doesn't believe in cutting down crime. He believes in ending it for good. Craig T. Nelson stars in an all-new episode of what viewers are calling the best new drama of the year. It's The District, tonight on CBS. First and 10 after the Edwards catch, and Carter goes out of the shotgun, hands it off to Milliken, who weaves left, gets a couple of blocks. Finally, Todd Johnson, number 26, up high with supplemental help from Darrell Owens, number 56.
Nice block by the tight end Randy McMichael that time too. Really good job standing his guy up and allowing Milliken to cut inside for the nice gain. Nice looking drive so far from Georgia and Quincy Carter.
Second and 5. Just outside the 49. Carter, modest numbers, and he's been popped several times, had to lead with a bruised shoulder injury for one series. Here's Carter under pressure from Alex Brown, throws it away.
Nice job.
And if you did just tune in, the injury to Quincy Carter when he got double teamed behind the line of scrimmage, Todd.
Yeah, Hardman hit him first, and as he spun around, he got an even harder shot from Kennard Ellis right on that sore left shoulder. Did a nice job that time of just getting rid of the football and making it 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and a long yardage situation.
7:13 to go, first half.
Terrence Edwards, Damian Gary, Randy McMichael. Get the football in the hands of your playmakers.
Delayed blitz, pass left, good coverage. Darrell Robinson was the intended receiver, but fine coverage there from Robert Cromartie, number 25.
Yeah, this is really good coverage. Out there on an island, he's looking in at the quarterback. He knows when to break on the football, and he gets right inside on the shoulder and gets his hand on the football. Robinson's feet slipped a little, wasn't able to cut off that ball, but a good play by Robert Cromartie.
And that brings on Kilgo again with 7:07 to go in the half. But the back-to-back plays by Thornton and the catch by Edwards should result in a significant change in field position now for Florida.
And you have to wonder just how this defense can continue to hold up. You have the feeling that Georgia is just hanging on right now, only down by 6, but their defense made some plays.
I look forward each week to hearing you say
Aflac.
Thank you. Rex Grossman currently leading the NCAA in passing efficiency. Who holds the career record for passing efficiency? Got a clue?
Career passing efficiency.
It's not a duck. Okay, well,
my guess would be it's a cougar, but I don't know.
Let you know later. Ooh, that's a pretty good guess. Up the middle, Robert Gillespie back in the Florida backfield. Rex Grossman intercepted just once this season before he threw his first pass today. This was the opening offensive play of the game.
Yeah, good pressure inside, a little overthrow, and Vieira, the safety there for the collection, and then another overthrow, this time Jermaine Phillips with the interception, and it's all the result of pressure. You can't imagine how easy it's been for Rex Grossman the last 2 games, mostly because there was no pressure.
Play fake. Gives him time. That's tipped away. Nice defensive play. Intercepted. Picked off by Tim Wansley. Wansley weaves his way to the 5 and has the ball. First and goal, Georgia.
Jamie Henderson made the play, Vern. Tim Wansley, the benefactor, with the interception. Jamie Henderson is going to be the guy on the main coverage and is going to get a hand on the football. And Tim Wansley is going to pick it off in the air. There's the tip, and Wansley alertly there for the football. But it was made by Jamie Henderson. There's Jamie Henderson getting his shoulder on the football, and it goes up in the air into the hands of Wansley.
As of 3:30 Eastern this afternoon, Florida had played 28 quarters of football and thrown 3 interceptions. Now, in the first quarter and a half, they have thrown 3. Jermaine Phillips in the backfield. Musa Smith plows over right guard and picks up 1 tough yard.
And Vern, Georgia must score a touchdown here. Take a look at this now. Since 1996, when Jim Donnan came to Georgia, Florida has forced 13 turnovers and scored off of them, 38 points. Georgia, 12 turnovers and only 3 points. Add 1 more turnover to that now. 13 turnovers, only 3 points. They need a touchdown right here.
Jesse Palmer warming up, the 5th-year senior who was the starter the first 5 games of this year.
Watch the tight ends again.
Jermaine Phillips, number 5, is in there. He's the lead blocker on the sweep. Musa Smith. Georgia leads. Actually, it's tied. They can lead with the extra point.
I told you Jermaine Phillips does a little bit of everything. He plays free safety. He plays wingback in the goal line situation, and watch him as a lead blocker here, getting out in front of Musa Smith. The fullbacks out there. Here they are. Haynes and Jermaine Phillips providing an escort for Musa Smith to the corner of the end zone.
Now Georgia leads. After the interception, the 3rd of the game, Musa Smith gets the touchdown.
I was home, homeward bound. Home, where my thoughts escaping. Home, when my music's playing.
New MSN Explorer. Everything you need to feel at home on the web, all in one place.
When Doug loses his job, can this Teamster make it as a homemaker?
Is this the done pile or the not done pile?
Huh.
Oy.
An all-new King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Rex Grossman, Jesse Palmer. There's the redshirt freshman to the left. The fifth-year senior just behind Steve Spurrier. Might he make a change?
He might. I mean, he told us this week, he said, hey, Jesse's had a great week of practice. Rex knows he's in there right now because he's been playing well. Well, he's struggling a little bit here in the first half. They both have their helmets on. Jesse's is double buckled up. I'm going to guess number 7 is going in the game. And 1 buckle off, 2 buckles on.
Short kick. Taken up at the 38-yard line by Lester Norwood. Let's go back and watch the deflection and the subsequent interception by Wansley.
It was an excellent play by Jamie Henderson. You don't see him in your picture right now. He was on a slot receiver. Watch Henderson go down and get his hand on the football and then right into the hands of Wansley. And Wansley has been the big play guy for Georgia. Then on the touchdown, Musa Smith. Excellent blocking on the perimeter. Nice block by the tight end Raider. And Jim Donnan finally gets a touchdown off of a turnover.
Jesse Palmer is in at quarterback. There's the pitch. Gillespie. He goes right. So a chance for redemption for Jesse Palmer, who by all intents and purposes has handled his bench time very, very well.
And he's done the right things in terms of continuing to prepare like he is the starter, to continue to practice well, to do all the right things, to cross all his T's and dot all his I's in terms of preparation. And now he's back in the game with a chance to get his team back on top.
2nd down and 4. Fumble. Loose ball. Georgia's got it. That's 4 first half turnovers.
Now I'm going to tell you, Vern, this is a bad exchange between the center and quarterback. And you watch, it's the pressure from Richard Seymour. It's a new center in the game. Aaron Deal is in, not David Jorgensen. It was not a clean exchange between Deal and Palmer. And Will Witherspoon is the guy who's going to come up with the football. But pressure inside by Georgia forces another turnover.
First fumble lost. That's Aaron Deal, who had replaced Jorgensen at center. Double tight end set for the Bulldogs at the Florida 42. Fake toss. Carter.
Wheel route.
He's got a man down the sidelines. Milliken flies out of bounds for the 1st and goal at the 3.
Perfect time to call this play. They've got Florida on their heels. They fake to Milliken, show bootleg, and then throw back on the wheel route. Here's Milliken. He's going to come out and down the sideline, and the quarterback's going to come this way on the bootleg. They forget about him. They think they're just faking to him. Nobody picks him up out of the backfield, and Quincy Carter right where he needs to be with the football. You got a guy wide open, throw it right to him. Don't lead him. Don't try to make the perfect throw. Get him the football. Young linebackers for Florida fooled by the play action. Travis Harris, the middle linebacker, trying to recover late to get on the play. Excellent play call at the right time by Jim Donnan. Here's what Georgia likes to do in the red zone. 13 runs, 5 passes. Musa Smith back in the game at tailback.
There was a penalty personal foul, so 2 yards tacked on. Musa Smith got it. Touchdown.
Back-to-back turnovers and back-to-back touchdowns, capitalizing on those turnovers. Great extension by Musa Smith. They stopped the penetration, and Musa able to get over the top.
Billy Bennett's extra point is up and good. The 2nd short touchdown run for the freshman from Pennsylvania this afternoon. Georgia has lost 9 of the last 10, but they lead 17-9. Grossman and Spurrier, and inexplicably the turnovers. I mean, this is a team that Florida, that is, coming into today, second in the country in turnover margin. They were plus 16.
And only committed 8 turnovers all year. And they've done half of that here in the first half against the Georgia Bulldogs. And credit a lot of people right now. Gary Gibbs for keeping this game close with bad field position. And then Quincy Carter gutting it out. He's banged up. He's hurt. He's still in there. And he made a huge play that time throwing to Milliken.
Bo Carroll, one of 2 deep men. Lito Shepherd the other for Florida. 17-9. Here's Brett Kerouac, who will kick off for the Bulldogs. Carroll takes it. It will come out to the 20. Well, now the answer to our Aflac question. Rex Grossman currently leading. That is, as we came into play today, in passing efficiency. Who is the career record?
Wow. Not a duck, not a cougar, but a gator.
A gator.
Our spotter, Matt Sign.
Did he have it?
Yeah, he had it.
Or is he claiming to have it?
He's claiming. I didn't see any proof that he had it, but he's indicating that he did have the right answer.
Might become a candidate for a big me award here. First down and 10. Stunts by the defensive line. Palmer flips it out. Nice open field tackle. Jamie Henderson and Kendrell Bell, number 37, the middle linebacker. Well, the last Georgia victory in this series, the only one of the decade of the 90s, in 97. Robert Edwards rushed for 124 yards and 3 TDs, including a game clincher of 37 out, as the Bulldogs broke a 7-game losing streak in that game. That's Jim Donnan's only victory today.
And Vern, remember, in that game, 4 turnovers by the Florida Gators.
Play fake. Palmer goes right, incomplete.
Right now,
Colwell.
Yeah, right now this game is going the way that Gary Gibbs wants it to go, because what he can do is play a little more zone now, rush with his big front 4, and then make the quarterbacks of Florida, whether it be Palmer or Grossman, see if they'll be patient. They're behind, see if they'll be patient and dump it underneath and throw short. They're getting a good enough rush with their front 4. They can play that kind of zone defense.
On third down now, defensively, Georgia goes with 6 defensive backs. Kendrell Bell rushes from the outside. Linebacker got him.
Vern, they've only blitzed 3 times in the ball game, and all 3 times it has paid off. This time, Kendrell Bell coming from outside is unblocked. Nobody picks him up. There's no back in the backfield to pick up a linebacker. Perfectly timed call by Gary Gibbs.
A loss of 11. Kendrell Bell with the sack that brings on Alan Ryan, and Damian Gary perched at the 47 awaiting the punt. Gary grabs it out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 49-yard punt and nothing on the return. Well, coming up at halftime, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman with our AXA halftime report. They will update you on all of the significant activity today.
You know, Vern, if I'm Jim Donnan, I'm thinking let's try to get more. I mean, let's not get complacent at all. We've got Florida on their heels a little bit. Our defense is playing outstanding. Let's keep the pressure on. Let's try to put another touchdown on the board to go into the locker room with, because you don't beat Florida with field goals or by playing conservatively.
First and 10 at the 38. Up the middle, Jasper Sanks to the 41-yard line. Tackle made by Mike Nattiel and Marquand Manuel.
Georgia having some success running the football. You know, this Florida defense through 7 games last year was only giving up 49 yards a game rushing. Right now they're giving up over 100 more than that, 155 yards a game rushing. They just have not been as solid against the run as they were a year ago, with basically the same people playing the same position.
Carter play fake, flips it out for Edwards. Nice job by Terrence Edwards. First down, Georgia at the 45. Gain of 14.
Take a look at what people have done running the football against Florida. In '99, that was through the whole season. They were 9th in the country. Right now, way down below the middle of the pack at 71st.
Terrence Edwards picks up that first down.
Yeah, the biggest difference is they don't have the same middle linebacker. Andre Davis was hurt early in the year, but the front 7 or front 4, all the same guys.
Right side, LeBron Mitchell makes the grab at the 40-yard line. Well, of all of those ground gains, the biggest play, I think, was the Bruce Thornton run. The 23-yarder that began to get them out of that horrid field position.
Yep, they were playing with their backs to the wall through most of the first half. The defense hung in there and made plays. And then they got that big run and didn't get any points. But like you said, were able to kick it from a better position and flip-flop the field a little bit.
Second down. Shotgun. Carter darts out of trouble. Leans down to the 38-yard line. It'll be third and either a long 2 or a short 3, depending on the spot. Thad Bullard with this tackle, and the clock shows 1:35. And timeout is called by Georgia. So they used the second of their 3, and you look at a perplexed Steve Spurrier. 4 first half Gator turnovers, 17 Georgia points.
You know, it takes a lot of hard work, guts, and determination to play this sport. It takes commitment.
It takes a competitive spirit.
It takes teamwork.
It takes leadership.
NCAA football is a tradition.
It's a family affair.
NCAA football. Pass it on.
95 seconds to go before the break. Georgia up 17-9.
Big play right here, I think, for both teams. Again, I think Georgia needs to keep the pedal to the metal here. 1:35 left in the half. They need to try to score another time before halftime. So a huge third down and short conversion situation. If the Gators can find a way to stop, not only will they get the ball back again this first half, but they could go into the locker room trailing only by 8 points.
Gary and Edwards split off to the left. Both Bruce Thornton is the only running back. Carter runs the option, has a downfield block and a first down out of bounds at the 25. A gain of 13 and a first down.
Nice job running the option by Quincy Carter. Good job blocking downfield by Randy McMichael, one of those 3 tight ends. Watch McMichael here lead the escort for Quincy Carter on the option. Defender takes the pitch man, quarterback has to keep, and McMichael right out there getting the key block on Marquand Manuel and an easy first down. Guy who hasn't touched the ball yet for Georgia, Damian Gary, number 18. He's out here. He's been a big play guy.
Motion at the line.
Have a dead ball foul. False start against the offense. Movement in the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jennings and Pate on the left side.
Tell you what, I admire the toughness of Quincy Carter because he is obviously not 100%, and he's continuing to run the option, scramble when the coverage is too good, and not afraid to take another hit on that sore shoulder.
50 yards on the ground on 8 carries for Carter. Fake the draw, Goes back to pass, crossing route, intercepted by Lito Sheppard. Picked off by the cornerback of Florida. He gets a huge block. Now Sheppard still running free. Still on his feet. And still on his feet. My gracious.
Quincy Carter never saw Lito Sheppard, but Lito Sheppard was watching Quincy Carter the whole way. It's a crossing route to the other side of the field. Watch Lito Sheppard, his eyes right in at Quincy Carter. And Quincy Carter, not aware where Sheppard is, Sheppard falls right in front of the play and makes the interception. And then what a great effort, not giving up on the play after the interception. Not only do they get the stop, but because of Sheppard's return, the Gators in scoring territory.
Ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. Talk about your mood swings. First down and 10 after the 60-yard return of the interception. Here's Palmer, the senior, down the middle for Gaffney, who goes up and can't quite hold on at the 10. What a return by Sheppard.
Lito Sheppard just saying, hey, if you're not going to tackle me, then I'm just going to keep running. I'm not going to go down just because I'm tired. We're behind in the ball game. Our team needs a spark.
And a flag on the last play.
Holding on Florida.
3-play first down.
Again, I think inside, the combination of Richard Seymour and Marcus Stroud has really been a problem for the Florida Gators. And that penalty knocks them back out of field goal range right now with a minute left.
11-yard penalty, first and 21. Palmer across the middle. He's got Gaffney. He's got a first down inside the 15. Florida has 2 timeouts left. Of course, the clock stops now on the change of the chains.
They went right back to it. Same kind of play. Get the slot receiver down the middle. Cover 2 defense. There's a hole in the middle. Gaffney missed the one before on a little high throw. That time they went right back to him, and he made the good catch.
Clock running, 48 seconds to go. Out of the shotgun with Palmer, the deep back. Alex Willis, the senior captain, in the slot left. Palmer in the end zone. Receiver slipped. Second down.
Little bumping out there between Tim Wansley and Jabbar Gaffney. No call made. Wansley with 5 interceptions now on the season. The team leader has been the big play guy, and there's just a little contact, but a good no call by the official.
Gaffney goes right. Willis and Caldwell come left. 4-man rush by Georgia. Palmer, right flat, has a man open. Inside the 5. Touchdown, Florida. Gillespie.
Nice read by Jesse Palmer on the zone defense. Gillespie not the primary target. He's a dump-off guy. Here's Gillespie. Watch him just get out here and sit on the sideline. Zone defense, good read by Palmer, and then watch the effort at the end of the play. Over Wansley, the ball to the pylon. Nice read by Jesse Palmer.
It is the ball that is significant at the plane, and the ball crossed the plane. Timeout called by Florida while they discuss the option 1 or 2. They trail by 2. Gillespie gets the touchdown from the senior Jesse Palmer.
There's nothing better than a Saturday afternoon in the swamp.
1997, Florida State. 85,000 screaming fans.
Florida State University, home of my Seminoles, #1 team in the country.
I think it's the crowd noise. It is the loudest stadium that I've ever been in.
Back and forth at the end, Florida pulls it out 32-29.
We got Chief Osceola, we got Renegade the Horse, we got the Flamin' Spirit.
What a great rivalry. I love college football.
.30 seconds to go first half. Florida on the boards again. And now Steve Spurrier chatting with what they've got in mind for the conversion.
Well, and how about the turnovers again? And again, Florida capitalizes on turnovers. The first one that they forced today, and they get the touchdown at the end with this great effort by Robert Gillespie. The ball across the plane touches the pylon. Touchdown Gator.
All set up by a remarkable interception return from Lito Shepherd. Now 3 wide receivers come left, 2 go right. Gaffney is in the slot, and Palmer is under center as they try for the tie. Palmer, right side, got him. Rashae Caldwell.
Nice little play, Vern. It looks like slant all the way. It starts out like a slant, and then Rashae Caldwell just stops right on a dime. Georgia thinking slant, and watch Caldwell start the slant and then stop. Right there, no way to react to that play. DeCorey Bryant, no chance. Good timing, good execution.
So Jesse Palmer on in relief of Rex Grossman. And we are notched with 30 seconds to go in the first half. (17-17).
How about Jabbar Gaffney on that drive? Drops the one down the middle. Of course, it would have been wiped out by the holding penalty, and they come right back to him the next play. And Gaffney makes the big catch down the middle of the defense to set up the touchdown.
And all of it set up by that man, Lito Shepherd, with a sensational return after he got the interception.
Lito Shepherd and Jabbar Gaffney, both from the same high school, Jacksonville Reign. Great homecoming for both guys.
Here's the kick taken by Bruce Thornton. He will bring it out. And does so to the 21, where he is high-load and down. I think the Lito Shepherd interception is worth another look.
Yeah, it really is. Again, Quincy Carter off the bootleg. Now he's looking this way all the way. Never sees Lito Shepherd, who was watching him the entire time. And then what an effort at the end of the play. Just bobbing and weaving, staying alive, breaking tackles. And were it not for this return, good chance Florida doesn't tie this football game.
Lito Shepherd, a sophomore from Jacksonville, as Todd just said. And 17-17 with 25 seconds to go before the break. And the Bulldogs will be content to settle for a tie at the half. I believe he's already taken. And has been for a long, long time. Lito Shepherd had one interception return for a touchdown earlier, but this one even more remarkable. Let's check in with Jill Arrington.
Coach, a lot of mistakes in the first half, a lot of turnovers. They're killing you. Your defense is keeping you in the game. What changes are you going to make?
Yeah, our defense has played pretty well except for a couple plays here and there, but 4 turnovers in the first half and to be tied with them, we're pretty fortunate right now. Hopefully we can play a little bit better on offense and play a little smarter this half.
Which quarterback will we see in the second half, Coach?
Well, I think we got to go with Jesse. Rex he was getting his plays confused. We couldn't get the right play called, so he needed to rest a little while. So Jesse's a little more experienced, I think, right now.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
All right, Jill, thank you. Halftime, 17-17, Florida, Georgia. Let's go back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
All right. Coming up on the AXA Halftime Report, we'll get you caught up on the day in college football, including the big 1-2 matchup between OU and Nebraska, after this word from your local station.
Building futures.
Welcome to the AXA Halftime Report with the score in Jacksonville at the old cocktail party. Florida and Georgia tied at 17. Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman. Well, we talked about Quincy Carter's shoulder. It has been a factor. Florida has given a lot of pressure. What we didn't realize was that Grossman would throw their picks. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, Steve Spurrier with a quick hook.
Yeah, there was a couple of times when Georgia had a couple of picks and they didn't convert, only with 3 points on them. The key is they've got to continue to run the ball successful in order to do that. Big gamble, Jim Donnan, running that option game with Quincy Carter, been knocked out of the game a couple of times already.
By the way, Oklahoma was a winner today.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that right now.
No,
right?
no, not right now. We've got some other things to take care of. Just wait, you'll get your turn. Let's get you caught up on some of other games that are being played today, including, of course, a game many are watching on CBS, 2020 Pittsburgh and Virginia Tech. Another wild one, classic look-ahead situation. John Turman will scramble under pressure, throws to the wide receiver Antonio Bryant, a 17-yard strike. This makes it 13-7 in the second quarter. Now, obviously, you got to run the football, Spencer, particularly with Andre Davis not available.
Yeah, you know I like Lee Suggs a lot. He's got to step up, particularly because of that injury that you mentioned, too. Turman throwing a wide receiver here, Antonio Bryant on the backside of this, with an over-the-shoulder catch, 26-yard touchdown in the back of the end zone, put the Panthers up 20-17 late in that. You know what? Michael Vick, boy, that's not a good scene seeing this guy carried off the field.
Been taken to the Student Health Center. They are making some serious observations of that knee. It's 2020. Obviously, they're going to x-ray that knee and see what happens. This has long-term ramifications on Virginia Tech's season, both now and next week against Miami. Georgia Tech, Clemson, 16-14 at the half. Jackets getting it done. Godsey's really playing well. 225 yards in the air and a touchdown. Now, as we roll on, Kansas State, look at this. Wow. 19-0, Texas A&M getting it done. Remember, this is the first meeting since A&M upset K-State and spoiled their national title hopes back in '98, sent Kansas State to the Alamo Bowl. Well, maybe remember the Alamo after this one. 21-21, Oregon, Arizona State. This game now at halftime. Oregon with a win will be off to its best start since 1959. Into the Big Ten, Ohio State and Purdue. 3 picks for Drew Brees, yet the Boilers have a 4-point lead over the Buckeyes of Ohio State. Rice and TCU. Well, you could call them the Ralph Nader of college football. You know, they just keep on winning. People want them to drop out, so it'll be easier for the BCS to claim a national championship. Here's George Lane getting up and over for the Horned Frogs, making it 7-0. And LaDainian Tomlinson, the best Heisman candidate you haven't seen. 14-0 the score there. Then Jeremy Hurd will fumble on a pitch. It's recovered by Curtis Fuller of the Horned Frogs, and that would lead to place kicker Chris Kalaki's 24-yard field goal to increase the TCU lead at that point to 17. It's now 23-0. Rice has won the last 4 meetings between these two. The Fighting Falcons of Air Force taking on Notre Dame, 28-10. Air Force last won in this series in South Bend in overtime, 20-17 in '96. Southern Miss is a whopping 23-2 at Conference USA play. Right now they trail Houston 3-0 in the third. Mississippi State over Middle Tennessee State. It's now 54-28. Remember, they still have Alabama yet to play in their place. Arkansas and Auburn, 21-19. Score not indicative of really how Auburn dominated this game. Another big day for Rudy Johnson as well as for Ben Leard. Arkansas gets its 3rd loss of the year. Alabama, look at this, folks. 31-24 in the 3rd quarter. Central Florida leading Alabama. The Jekyll and Hyde Act continues for Mike Dubose. Coming up, more of today's action. We'll see how Oklahoma delivered the knockout punch in Norman. Plus, a look at how South Carolina fared against the Vols when the AXA halftime report continues. Well, if you get Musa Smith healthy, it can make a difference. Dogs hunker down and get it done. They're bigger than we are, too.
The AXA Halftime Report is sponsored by AXA Advisors, building futures.
We welcome you back to the AXA Halftime Report. I'm Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman. He's a pretty happy guy. Let's tell you why. Here's the college football scoreboard, 1 versus 3. But remember, 1 versus 2 in the BCS standings. And Oklahoma got it done. Is it the Heupel that they're going after? Eric Crouch taking the ball and maneuvering as he did the first 2 series. Nebraska was a juggernaut, had a 14-0 lead. But the Sooners started to storm back.
That's right. Josh Heupel, you cannot break this guy right here. Under pressure, finds number 12, Curtis Fagan here. Nice touch pass here in 34 yards out from the touchdown. Hey, Eric Crouch faking the handoff here, throws it right into the waiting arms right here. Derek Strait, big time. You know what? Excellent performance by the Sooners today. Has got Bob Stoops saying, hey, you better believe the Heupel hype.
To watch Josh Heupel is, you know, has to be a Heisman candidate, one of the top couple people. There's no question. You watch him perform in big games, and he's exceptional, and he was today.
We're a long ways off from meeting anybody in the championship game in Kansas City.
Kansas City. Glad you mentioned that little yellow brick road. They may play again Don't forget, Nebraska still has to play at K-State. Oklahoma, best chance of losing in the regular season. A&M in 2 weeks at Kyle Field. Think about that as we roll on. Tennessee, South Carolina, 17-14. Volunteers get it done. Lou Holtz had it right where he wanted it, but turnovers was a problem. Big time problem. This touchdown for Travis Henry makes it 7-0. Then quick slant, making it work. Phil Petty to Ryan Brewer, 78 yards he rumbles. That would give South Carolina a 14-7 lead. But again, Tennessee, a long drive. 68 yards, 6 minutes, 31 seconds off the clock, just 26 ticks remaining, and they win it 17-14. Remember, the Gamecocks still have Florida, still have Clemson remaining on their schedule. Elsewhere, Baylor and Texas 48-14. The Horns get it done today, but Major Applewhite had a big day.
Banner day for Major Applewhite. Becomes Texas all-time leading passer with 7,810 yards, 18 of 48, 297 on the day. Fine job, Major Applewhite.
Problems continue for Kevin Steele, the head coach at Baylor. Just 2 wins out of 8 tries. Northwestern Minnesota, how about this one? 41-35, only 3 seconds remaining in the game. Zach Kustok, the Notre Dame transfer, will throw up a Hail Mary, and it's going to be tipped into the end zone. They were 21 points down in this game. Coonley Patrick tips it into the air, then it's caught by Sam Simmons for the touchdown. Hey, Northwestern still only 1 conference loss. They are very much in the Rose Bowl picture after that win today against Minnesota. Wisconsin over Iowa, 13-7. Been difficult for the Hawkeyes, but certainly Bollinger being back really had to help.
Yeah, you know, Wisconsin taking on the weakest link in the Big Ten. Hooking up here is Bollinger with Chris Chambers for 40 yards, led to a touchdown that put him up 13-0.
13-7, the final score in the game. Chambers, 10 receptions, 185 yards on the day. And Illinois, Michigan State, 14-10, the final in this game. Illinois has fallen apart since that controversial loss to Michigan. Well, a reminder, the football action does continue tomorrow. An NFL doubleheader on CBS. In the early games, most of you will see the Jets against the Bills. Then later, most will see Jacksonville against Dallas. And it all begins at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. The AXA halftime report continues right after this.
Halftime, Georgia 17, Florida 17 from Alltel Stadium in Jacksonville. Next Saturday, Michael Vick storms into hurricane country when the Hokies battle Miami in a top 5 showdown. And in the SEC, the Alabama Crimson Tide tangle with LSU. It's the Home Depot College football doubleheader next Saturday on CBS. Lito Shepherd with a key play in the first half. A 61-yard return after the interception. Watch the block he got from number 13, Alex Brown, coming up right there. That gave him room to get an additional 40 yards after he maneuvered just a bit. We're at the halftime, 17-17. Welcome back to Alltel Stadium, 17-17. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington. As we get started with the third quarter. Jeff Chandler will kick it deep. Bruce Thornton, number 7, one of the 2 men back, shares that responsibility with Brett Milliken, number 39. 17-17. Thornton over the shoulder catch. This one comes out to the 20. First down and 10 from the 20. A few moments ago, Jill Arrington with Jim Donnan.
Coach Donnan, you had some mistakes in the first half. You were able to get some turnovers, couldn't capitalize on them as much as you wanted to. What do you need to do the second half to gain the momentum back?
Well, we got 2 touchdowns off turnovers, so we were happy with that. But, you know, we were going good there, and then Quincy got his shoulder hurt and it caught us out of our option game. But our defense is mixing it up and doing a good job. We just got to take advantage of things, and that hurt us there. It was a big turnaround there when they got that score at the end of the half. But second half game, let's see what happens.
How's Quincy Carter? Is that shoulder bothering him?
Yeah, I think it's bothering him enough. We got to really be protective, but, you know, hopefully he can hang in there, and he's doing a good job.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jill. That was just a moment ago, and you saw Quincy Carter's first passing attempt of the second half. I think you think he's been affected by this.
Yeah, it has. It has affected him. He's not throwing the ball real efficiently right now. He did not have a good first half throwing the football. He did make a couple nice runs. He was a leading rusher for Georgia in that first half, but you can tell that it's bothering him a little bit. And the one thing that I think Georgia really has to do here in the second half is make a concerted effort to get the ball in the hands of some of their playmakers.
Here's the option. Carter pitches it back to Brett Milliken, but a terrific job then by Marcus Oquendo Johnson, who forced a lineman back into Quincy Carter. And your perusal of the halftime stats here.
Well, Georgia had the better of it running the football. Florida had the better of it passing the football. Georgia had the better of it in the turnovers, but you see the game is tied 17-17, and as Jim Donnan said, that big turnaround at the end of the half, the interception by Lito Shepherd and the return, and enabled Florida to crawl back into this ball game. But Georgia has to find a way to get the ball in the hands of the guys that can make plays. Take a little pressure off of Quincy Carter, get it to some of the other guys.
3rd and 9. Quick flip. Reggie Brown gets a block from Edwards, but then a fine defensive job out on the left side. Bam Hardman, number 42. Very alert with the defensive play.
Alert by Hardman, but Reggie Brown's got to just catch that ball and go straight up the field. He don't have time to dance around with the football against a team as fast as Florida on defense.
That brings on Jonathan Kilgo to punt. And Lito Shepherd. Back to receive for Florida. He's got one punt return for a touchdown this season. Here's the grab at the 42. Shepherd knocked backwards by Kentrell Curry.
Jermaine Phillips also down there, the first guy down there, and then Curry got the tackle.
Florida ball.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights.
This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
54-yard field goal. 5 seconds left. Their season all comes down to this. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It's got the distance. It's good. It's done. It's all over.
Philips Digital Recorder with TiVo. Pauses live TV and a lot more.
All right, who can solve this? Mr. Montez.
Last Saturday in the Army Reserve, I figured out how to link up 23 Bradleys, 40 tanks, 60 Humvees, 4 medevac units, and 7,000 troops on the move. On Monday, class was no sweat.
Not bad, Mr. Montez.
As little as 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year. Army Reserve.
Peter Friedman gets top-notch advice in everything he does. So why doesn't he get top-notch advice when he invests online? Simple. He doesn't know he can. See how we earn it. Solomon Smith Barney.
When Max Case is televised,
Objection.
She gets more than she bargained for.
It's not case law male viewers are drooling over. I've died and gone to hell.
All new Jag, CBS Tuesday.
First Florida possession of the third quarter. Jesse Palmer, who came on in relief of Rex Grossman in the second quarter, opens at quarterback. Grossman with 3 first-half interceptions. Palmer, a bad exchange with Aaron Deal, a fumble, but he keeps the ball this time and goes over right guard and right tackle out to the 46-yard line. And time now for our Exxon Virtual Playbook.
Well, the playbook today is Georgia's base coverage, which we call Bulldog Cover 2. Now, in a game like this, they might take a linebacker out and replace him with a nickelback, which they've done a lot today, Jamie Henderson, and they play soft Cover 2. Now, with this defense, the vulnerable areas are on the sideline and down the middle of the field. First pass of the game, Rex Grossman tries to go to the middle, and it's an overthrow, and it's intercepted by Vieira.
Down the middle, Palmer finds his tight end. He's got a first down at the 37-yard line. The catch made by Aaron Walker, the sophomore. A gain of 18.
Well, they attacked the middle again, and this time Palmer on the money. The play fake held the linebackers. That made an easy throw for Jesse Palmer. The good play fake held those two inside linebackers tight to the line and made a nice throwing lane for Jesse Palmer.
Gain of 18 and a first down. Tight end's not that significant a part of the offense numerically. Down the middle, Caldwell leaping, incomplete. Knocked away by Corey Robinson, number 26.
Corey Robinson gets a good hand on the ball. There was good pressure up front by Marcus Stroud. This ball hung in the air a little bit too long, and Robinson able to get up and knock the ball out of the hands of Caldwell. The pressure caused the ball to hang in the air a little bit long, and Robinson made the play.
Taylor Jacobs, number 6, comes on the field. He and Gaffney break wide right. Caldwell is split off to the left, and Willis in a slot. Here's Palmer back. Incomplete. Palmer and Gaffney appeared to be not on the same page that time.
Again, watch the push, the pressure inside. Watch these three guys push the pocket. Seymour and Stroud just pushing guys back into the quarterback's face. It's not a sack. It's not even necessarily a hurry, but it does disrupt the timing and the rhythm of these Florida quarterbacks.
On 3rd and 10, Georgia goes with 6 defensive backs. 4 wide receivers, Palmer with the audible. 4-man rush. It's batted down in the line by Marcus Stroud, number 97.
Palmer's pass deflected at the line of scrimmage.
I really think this tandem of Stroud and Seymour are as good as there is in the country. Just look at the push. Great leverage. 2 guys on him, but he still is able to get past the neutral zone into the Florida backfield and then get a hand on the football. Now, Vern, Florida has made a switch at center. I don't know if it's because of an injury to Jorgensen, but it might be just the fact that Aaron Deal is a bigger guy. He weighs over 300 pounds. Jorgensen about 270, and Deal in there now as the starting center.
Jeff Chandler's going to try one from 54 yards out. That might do it. He got it.
We've seen him shank one from 3 yards away and absolutely nail one from 54. No doubt about this one.
The automotive world is hyped for the V6 Grand Vitara from Suzuki. Open Road says it's eye-popping. Automobile Magazine raves there's more sport in this sport utility. And Road and Track says it's powerful enough to kick sand in the face of every other four-door in its class. The Suzuki V6 Grand Vitara. Come in and see why Motor Trend says it must be on your shopping list. Get 0.9% APR financing on all V6 Grand Vitaras with approved credit at your local Suzuki dealer.
New releases guaranteed. Nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent The Patriot this week at Blockbuster. Before they were soldiers, they were family. Before there was a nation, there was a fight for freedom. The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson, rated R, guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Exxon, the United States Army, Solomon Smith Barney, and by Suzuki.
Steve Spurrier applauding the effort of his senior Jeff Chandler. With that field goal, Jeff Chandler has now kicked 43 in his career, none longer than the 54. He already was the all-time leading scorer in Florida history. Now he has equaled the number of career field goals at 43. And a really intriguing story. Jeff Chandler's dad, Don, was captain of the track team at Georgia in the late 60s, 1969. His mom was also an athlete there. They moved to Jacksonville, where he grew up. His coach in high school, his kicking coach, Alan Levitt, was also a kicker at Georgia. So he really had mixed emotions whether to go to Georgia or Florida. He walked on at Florida because of its proximity to Jacksonville. In his freshman season, he was in for one play, 1997, one extra point in what became an 82-6 win over Central Michigan. Now 234 points later. Here's the handoff out to the 22-yard line. And actually, Jeff Chandler, who is a broadcast journalism major, is appealing to the NCAA for an additional year of eligibility here at Florida because he was on the field for just the one play his freshman year. Was a walk-on as a sophomore, got his scholarship from Steve Spurrier as a junior in 1999, and has earned his niche.
Sure has.
In Florida history. 2nd and 8. Bring it back. Which means the reaction to Javaris Johnson's drop won't be quite as fervent.
If a dead ball foul, false start against the offense, movement in the offensive line prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Tough to hear the whistle when you're down on the field. Alex Brown didn't hear it. Quincy Carter saying, okay, I didn't hear it. You didn't hear it. No damage done. My shoulder's okay. Keep playing hard.
Good. Play fake Carter. Looking left, firing left, man open. Spin move, Terrence Edwards, first down at the 40. 25-yard gain.
Huge play, Vern, because Terrence Edwards has been the go-to guy. And before that catch, only 2 catches for 24 yards. He surpassed that with this one for 25. A lot of room out there by Cromartie. And Terrence Edwards, who has made a lot of plays this year for Georgia. Quincy says, give me the ball, let's play. I'm ready.
After the 25-yard gain, first down at the 40, out of the shotgun, play fake, quick screen. Out to Edwards. Nice job by Marquand Manuel of fighting off the block and making the tackle. Let's go back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
Vern, injured quarterbacks a recurring theme in your game as well as the other game many are watching on CBS. Michael Vick with under a minute to play in the first half. Injured apparently his ankle. He left the Student Health Center, came back to the stadium. The x-rays were negative. He has a right ankle sprain. He is on the sidelines, but his status for next week still unknown. Of course, they have to survive this week before they play Miami. Vern?
All right, Tim. My, does that affect things for Virginia Tech's prospects of a national title? Here's Carter. Flag is down. This might come back. Tackle is made by Clint Mitchell, number 94.
Yeah, they're going to get Kevin Breedlove for the hold on Gerard Warren, but a really nice play by Quincy Carter under duress is going to go for nothing. Really could have been on Stinchcomb or Breedlove. Watch the right side, the youngsters over here going against Warren and Alex Brown. There's Stinchcomb. That's a hold, and there's 2 holds. They both take your pick. Either Kevin Breedlove on Gerard Warren or John Stinchcomb on Alex Brown. And again, that is not an easy task. If they are guessing pass and they are convinced you're going to throw the football, those two guys are very hard guys to block.
Breedlove is on the bench. Quincy Carter, 144 yards total offense today. He really has not had that outstanding a season.
No, he hasn't.
Health issues aside, he had the 5 interceptions in the loss to South Carolina. That I mean, there was preseason talk about Quincy Carter being a Heisman hopeful, and that talk was stilled after that.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, 49% completion coming into the ball game today, way down from his previous 2 seasons. The interceptions, you know, as you mentioned, 5 of those came in one ball game against South Carolina.
Well, things seem to have been satisfactorily settled. Second down.
Reggie Stargell in now at right guard, replacing Breedlove, a senior in for a sophomore.
Carter goes left again, almost picked off. Cromartie drew a bead on that one. Today's Rigid Tools Scholar Athlete Award goes to Brett Milliken of the University of Georgia. Rigid Tools' commitment to the investment of our future is shown today by donating $1,000 to the University of Georgia General Scholarship Fund. There's Brett Milliken. In his senior season, has more than doubled this year his career output in yards rushing. 3rd and 18 on the bench now. 4-man rush. Carter pulls up and lets it fly. Got a man open. It's Gary with the first down at the Florida 45. Needed 18, got 22.
We'll take a look at this. Opens up. I think this is Gary here, and the coverage is pretty good initially. But Quincy Carter able to buy some time, and then Gary opens up late in the route. But it was Quincy Carter's ability to elude the pressure and buy some extra time that enabled Damian Gary to get open and make the catch.
Damian Gary, a redshirt freshman from Athens, had the big catch, or one of several last week. 85-yard touchdown against Kentucky. Carter rolling right, gets some pressure. Kennard Ellis, he throws. What a nice effort. Oh, my goodness, Darrell Robinson. It was ruled incomplete. It was close.
He gets some style points for it anyway. I mean, this is what you used to practice when you're a kid out in the backyard. Keeping the feet in bounds. Almost. Good call by the official. The foot did come off the ground before he secured the catch. Very, very close. Darrell Robinson, one of 2 young, highly touted receivers for this team, along with Reggie Brown, that have been kind of slow getting started this year. Now, they both made big plays last week against Kentucky. They're starting to come on a little bit. Have not been a factor yet today.
2nd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Hardman was coming, and the interception is dropped by Dixon. The linebacker, Bam Hardman, got there. Carter's throw deflected, and Dixon, that's the second one he's had in his paws today.
Yeah. And Terrence Edwards has to come down with this catch. I mean, his quarterback's fighting for his life back there. And Quincy Carter is eluding pressure. The blitz by Hardman unblocked, and Carter hanging in there. Yeah, it's a little high, but Edwards needs to make that catch. There's Hardman free, and at the end of the play, a triple team hit.
3rd and 10. Florida blitz.
Left tackle move.
That'll cost Georgia 5.
Dead ball foul. False start against the offense. Movement in the line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
They had a new left tackle in. This is George Foster over here. In there for Jonas Jennings right now, trying to give Jennings a little blow, and just too early out of his stance.
At the 7th penalty on Georgia. 3rd and 15.
Foster's out now. And Alex Jackson in now at left tackle.
Average need on third down. Georgia nearly 9. Carter under pressure again, up for grabs, tipped and incomplete. Kennard Ellis with a terrific pass rush, number 35. And he was all over Quincy Carter, who is now 8 of 22. Ellis has been splitting time with Alex Brown last 2 or 3 weeks.
And it's really worked out well for Florida because it's kept both of them fresh. And I think Alex Brown has played better the last couple weeks because he's been playing 25 to 30 plays because of the rest.
Jonathan Kilgo. That one takes a sideways hop out of bounds at the 17-yard line. 32-yard punt, but downed inside the 20. 8:58 to go in the third. Florida up by 3.
This is Fred. Let's pretend Fred is a file on your computer. He's a thesis you've worked on for 2 years. You're very proud of Fred. No! A computer virus has struck. There goes Fred. Darn. Look, it's the backup copy of Fred you saved on an iOmega zip disk. Welcome back, Fred. Zip it. Zip it.
This week in Suzuki Heisman Highlights.
This year's MVP has got to be the V6 Grand Vitara by Team Suzuki. Check out this play. With his V6 quad cam engine and ladder box frame, he tackles that mountain like it was an anthill. That's power. With that kind of season, it's no wonder the Grand Vitara has been named the official automobile of the Heisman Trophy.
Now at your Suzuki dealer, vote for the Heisman candidate of your choice. Enter to win a V6 Grand Vitara and other great Suzuki products.
And now a look at this week's Suzuki Heisman Watch Update.
Back in New York, Tim Brando alongside Spencer Tillman. He's pretty happy about what happened to Josh Heupel today. In the biggest game of his life, he had a huge afternoon.
Yeah, what can you say? In complete command after, of course, they shake off the bye-week rust. Josh Heupel, 20 of 34, 300 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 8 carries for 46 yards. Not bad. 8 different receivers Josh Heupel found en route to the upset of #1 Nebraska.
Michael Vick, are you listening? For more information on the Suzuki Heisman Watch, log on to cbs.sportsline.com.
Sorry about them, by the way. 8:58 to go in the third. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington. Florida, Georgia. 20-17 Gators with the first down and 10. Here's a toss and a reverse. And coming to the left side is Rashae Caldwell. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage on the far side. Offside. Georgia. So the option resting now with the Flater. Friday on CBS, you've never experienced anything like the all-new Fugitive. Tim Daly stars in the new hit drama. Join the chase with an all-new episode Friday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
You know, Vern, that was really a nice play by Terrell Vieira, the strong safety for Georgia, because the majority of the Georgia defense was fooled by that reverse. Kendrell Bell was chasing it hard down the line, and Vieira did a nice job of staying outside and forcing Caldwell back to the inside. They still got 9.5 yards out of it, but it could have been much worse.
Not quite enough for the first down, so the ball spotted just inside the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind here for Florida, backup defensive tackles in right now. Seymour and Strouder out, trying to get a rest. David Jacobs, number 99, and Jonathan Sullivan, the true freshman out of Griffin, Georgia, are the 2 tackles in there right now.
Second, less than a foot. Jesse Palmer, the senior quarterback, 5th-year senior from Canada. Starter at the beginning of the year, on in relief of the freshman Rex Grossman today. And he'll throw on 2nd and short. Comes deep, has his man open at the 41-yard line. It's Gaffney, tackled immediately by Jamie Henderson. Well, Talked a little bit about Jeff Chandler, the all-time leading scorer in Florida history, and his background. There's his dad, Don. He was the track coach at, or the track captain at Georgia, and his mom, Pamela, who also was an athlete at Georgia back in the 60s. They tell a funny story about themselves. During Jeff's freshman year, they were sitting in the parents section during this game, forgot momentarily where their son played. While Georgia back had a long run, Pamela Chandler said she stood up and started screaming for Georgia until she realized where she was sitting. 1st and 10. Left side. Gillespie, big run, 45-yard line. Tackle made by Cap Burnett.
And here comes Stroud and Seymour back in the game as well. A big running play for Florida. And that's it for the rest time for the two 300-pound tackles. Nice job by Gillespie following the block of his fullback Frazier. And a positive gain for the Gator offense.
First down at the 45-yard line. Play fake, Palmer. Left side, Gaffney is open. At the 24-yard line. And let's go back for an update. Once again, here's Tim Brando in New York.
All right, Vern, when Michael Vick is not available for the rest of the game, what do? You go to the running game, although not the Suggs. This time the fullback, Jared Ferguson, takes it in from 6 yards out. Virginia Tech looking to hold on and advance to that Miami game up on Pittsburgh in the 3rd by a touchdown.
All right, Tim, thank you. 7:41 in the 3rd here, and a personal foul, a late hit on the quarterback.
Yeah, at the end of the play, Terron Smith with the late hit. And a couple nice throws in a row by Jesse Palmer on the 2nd and 1 and this one.
And that ball moving inexorably inside the 15 and down finally at the 12-yard line following the penalty. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 Gators at the Georgia 12.
Winner of this game will have first place undisputed in the SEC East. South Carolina lost earlier today to Tennessee. These teams tied 6-1 regular season, 4-1 in the conference. Good defensive play for the moment, but a broken tackle, and Ernest Graham is down to the 6. Kendrell Bell had him and lost him.
Yeah, both linebackers had shots at him. Kendrell Bell and Tony Gilbert had a shot to bring him down right there, but great balance by Ernest Graham. He put the right hand down on the ground, kept going forward, and turned it into a nice game. Georgia has been very good so far this season, stopping touchdowns at only 60%.
Gillespie back as the deep back in the eye. He gets the handoff. Tries to wait patiently and goes over right tackle to the 3-yard line. Third and 1, 20-17.
If Gary Gibbs' defense ever needed a stop, this is the time he needs it. 3rd down and 2 or a long 1.
Gaffney, here's the quarterback keeper, Palmer.
Nice. Nice job going on the quick count. Coming up out of the huddle, getting set. Don't let the defense get set. Snap the football and go. Watch Jesse Palmer. The Georgia defense, they're still moving, trying to get set. Quick count and try to sneak it in there.
First and goal.
Really a smart move by the senior Jesse Palmer.
Again, Florida spreads it out. Palmer, another quarterback sneak, right guard, and down just shy of the goal line. Spurrier pleading more than acknowledging.
Well, they're trying to go away from Stroud and Seymour. I mean, You know, and that's smart. Seymour and Strouder on this side, run the quarterback sneak to that side. Try to find a smaller guy. They tried to run over the middle linebacker, Kendrell Bell.
Second and goal. Try it again, third time in succession. And there is an indication of the ball being spotted just short again.
Nice job by Marcus Stroud on that play. As you take a look at Gary Gibbs with another key third down situation. Marcus Stroud just did the old submarine here. Just went underneath both blockers, the center and guard, and Jesse Palmer nowhere to go.
Third and goal, same formation. Quick count, quarterback keeper, touchdown Florida. Go right, whoops.
Yep.
Go left.
Go low, go high. If at first you don't succeed, try again and then try one more time. Up and over the top. The football, all it has to do is cross the plane. And Steve Spurrier happy with his senior quarterback, Jesse Palmer.
Remember that Palmer had 4 rushing touchdowns in one game earlier against Kentucky. A Florida single game record. Well, he adds another one. This from a foot out. 27-17. Time now for the Exxon scoring summary. Let's see how we got here. 4 Florida turnovers led to 17 Georgia points. Here's Musa Smith, one of his 2 after a Wansley interception. And then just prior to the half, Gillespie leans out. Chandler in this half with a 54-yard field goal cuts it just inside the right upright. That made it 20-17 and broke the halftime tie. And just moments ago, Jesse Palmer, the senior quarterback, split the difference between center and left guard. And it's 27-17, and that's how we got here.
You know, you might ask, why do you think the quarterback sneak would be open like that? Well, Florida went with no backs. And so by spreading the formation out, that took all the linebackers out of the middle of the field. So all he had to do was try to get over the top. There was no one there to meet him at the top of the jump. They used formation to spread Georgia out and then ran 3 successive quarterback sneaks.
A 15-yard penalty was assessed to Georgia on the extra point for unsportsmanlike conduct, so the kick comes from midfield. And that's relatively short, and Milliken will bring it out. A ways. Up and out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Now South Carolina lost in the final 30 seconds at home to Tennessee today. So Florida, Georgia with 4-1 records coming into this ball game. The winner of this one will have undisputed possession in the SEC East. And of course, Florida, South Carolina have a game against each other in Gainesville on the 11th of November.
You know, Vern, one thing that Florida has done an excellent job of today is neutralizing, actually eliminating the tight ends from this Georgia offense. They have no catches so far. Randy McMichael is a big factor for this offense. He has caught nothing today.
On first down, the handoff to Musa Smith. Spilled as he gets out to the 34-yard line. Tackle is made by Byron Hardman.
Well, I like the way this guy looks. I mean, he is a good-looking running back. Does not carry himself like a freshman. And you mentioned the knee injury. The MRI made it look like he was going to be gone for the year. And when they got in there with the scope surgery, they found out it wasn't as bad as they thought. And he was able to come back this week. And he gives them a real weapon at the tailback position.
Gain of 6. Second and 4. Handed to Musa Smith again. Comes right. contacted at the line. And Bam Hardman, who's been very active today, number 42, and then Gus Scott, number 37, comes up to help on the play. Hardman a little slow getting back on his feet. Uga 6. There have been 6 Ugas started in 1955. All of the dogs have been owned by Sonny and Cecilia Seiler of Savannah. You want to be very careful when you spill that out. It's difficult to say without expectorating. 3rd down. Carter lets it go. He's got Reggie Brown. 1st down at the 47, 48-yard line. 44-yard line, make it.
Great job by Quincy Carter under serious duress. Watch Carter. He knows he's going to get hit. He eludes at pressure. Makes the nice throw. And they needed that 3rd down conversion. I don't think Georgia could have survived another 3 and out right there. They needed that conversion.
Gerard Warren having a discussion with one of the officials as they came back. Here's I'm not sure what Warren's case was, but here's Carter back. They find the tight end, McMichael. Let's see what's going on with the Crimson Tide. Once again, Timmy B.
Old Vern at the topsy-turvy world of Mike Dubose, trailing 37-24 at home to Central Florida. Ahmad Galloway gets in. Under 7.5 to play. Alabama trailing to Central Florida, coached by Mike Krusek, former Terry Bradshaw backup quarterback at Pittsburgh.
Wow. There's a wow
Those
for you.
always dangerous Black Knights.
The border war. First down and 10 to the 41-yard line. Well, Uga 1 was a wedding gift to the Seilers in 1955. He lived from 55 to 56. Uga 2, 66 to 71. Number 3 from 72 to 80. They won a national championship then. Uga 4, 81 to 89. 2 SEC champs. Uga 5 gave way to Uga 6. His dad, last year they actually had a passing of the bone ceremony. And then sadly Uga 5 expired only 2 years after he was retired. Here's Uga 6.
It's like so many people don't know what to do with themselves when they retire. So used to worked all those years.
You're shameless. 2nd and 9. 27-17. .211, 210 now remaining in the 3rd. Really modest numbers for Quincy Carter. Out for a series with a bruised left shoulder or a re-injured left shoulder. Here comes the corner blitz. Carter hit from behind as he lets it go. Intercepted by Marquand Manuel.
You know, Vern, this is an interception, but Javaris Johnson has to do a better job. Quincy Carter doesn't pay attention to the blitz because he knows he's supposed to have it picked up. Javaris Johnson is in position to block the blitz. Watch him. He's got to block this guy. He's in position to make the block, but he gets beat. He just gets olayed, and then the tackle at the end forces the bad throw by Quincy Carter. Gus Scott was on the blitz, and Marquand Manuel gets the pick. But Javaris Johnson made the right decision. He was there to block the blitzing safety, just didn't get the job done.
Gus Scott was the blitzer. And Marquand Manuel gets his first interception of the year 2000. Ball at the 50. Play fake, Palmer. Goes deep right side for Jacobs. And leads him about 3 yards. Too many.
Jesse Palmer's pass intended for number 6, Taylor Jacobs.
John Hoke, his predecessor Bob Stoops, with a huge victory today for Oklahoma. John Hoke tending to an injured player in his second season now. Here's John Hope.
You know, the defense has taken some criticism this year, a couple games over 500 yards, but they have been great at forcing turnovers. That's their 26th turnover they forced through 7 games, or 8 games rather.
There's the rush. Oh, what a play. Fumble. Still loose, and they are going to rule that the ball was down by contact at the 31.
And that didn't look good for Jesse Palmer at the end of that play. He went down very awkwardly and is now hobbling off the field. This was an ugly-looking fall for Jesse Palmer. Will Witherspoon is the guy who's in pursuit, the linebacker. And at the end of the play, you see both feet caught under the body of Will Witherspoon. The ruling was he was down, and then the ball came out. Good call. The knees were on the ground, and then the ball flew out.
And Rex Grossman back in at quarterback after the loss of 18. It's 3rd and 28. Just do get the ball snapped. Grossman under pressure goes deep. And Grossman is popped at the 20-yard line. They work on the right ankle of Jesse Palmer.
Again, pressure inside. Forced the bad throw by Rex Grossman. Watch Marcus Stroud and Jonathan Sullivan this time team up. Watch these two guys get into the face of the quarterback. Here comes Stroud right up the middle. Could have got called for a penalty. He hit Grossman right across the face. That penalty was not called, but it certainly made for a bad throw.
Allen Ryan to punt. Final 40 seconds of quarter number 3. Pressure comes. It appeared to have been blocked. Allen Ryan is pleading for, yes, there is a flag down. So it was not blocked, and there was contact.
Well, the question is, was the ball tipped?
Nope. No flag.
The ball was tipped. Yep. The ball was tipped.
I can't believe Kendrell Bell did not suffocate this ball because they were in position to make the block. Here's Bell right in the middle, 37. He is there, but he just doesn't get the whole ball. He's got to go to the spot where the ball is going to come off, and he went right past the spot but was able to get a little piece of the football. My, oh my. He did get a piece, but he should have been able to smother that one. He was right down the gut.
I'm not sure he got
Hard
a piece.
to see. I can't believe he missed it.
He whiffed. Air ball on first down. Hand off to Jasper Sanks, number 28, out to the 42-yard line.
Nice run.
Jasper Sanks carries.
Jesse Palmer in agony.
Yeah, that was not a good fall. And
there's Brock Berlin, the true freshman quarterback out of Shreveport, who has played in the shadows this year because of the emergence of Rex Grossman. We've reached the end of 3. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score 27-17. We'll return to All-Still Stadium right after this message and a word from your local station.
What kind of a company are we? We're a small-town banker helping a farmer between bounty and drought. We're a capitalist on Wall Street, growing companies and a country. A lender helping to buy a home. A financial advisor planning a future. You'll find us in lumber mills, internet companies, and hospitals. From Florida to Connecticut. From the Carolinas to Texas. From Silicon Valley to Singapore to London. You'll also find us where you live. Who are we? We're First Union, one of America's largest and best financial institutions, helping our neighbors in every way we can. That's the kind of company we are.
My guys, the New York Jets, are the kings of the 4th quarter. Well, now they got to take on another comeback kid, Doug Flutie and his Bills. CBS Sunday. I'm so excited I could barely eat. Well, I can eat, but I'm excited.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Mondays on CBS. It's all here.
What kind of a company are we? Like everyone else, we're people who look back every once in a while to think what might have been. What if we'd married sooner instead of later? Why didn't we buy that house? Just think of the money we'd have made. Would life have been simpler if we'd just stayed home? Life is a series of decisions which, once taken, often can't be taken back. Which is why planning is important. And which is one of the reasons we're here. To help make financial choices that are the right ones for you and your family. Talk with us at First Union. We can't change the past, but we can sure help a lot with the future.
Who is Jennifer Carroll? She's anti-choice, pro-gun, and pro-tobacco. Siding with extremists, that's Republican Jennifer Carroll. She has a plan to cut taxes for the rich, but raise taxes on low-income families. Siding with the rich against working families, that's also Jennifer Carroll. She supports a law to let people carry concealed weapons. Siding with the NRA against our families, that's Jennifer Carroll too. Tell Jennifer Carroll she's too extreme for our families.
Ride the Flight for Life for yourself Friday at 11 on News Channel 4.
84,404 present in Alltel Stadium today. That is the largest crowd to ever watch Georgia, Florida here in Jacksonville. Second down and 3 as we start the fourth. Musa Smith. Musa Smith gets by Todd Johnson momentarily, then is out of bounds at the 40-yard line with a first down. Musa Smith, the freshman, with the 2 touchdowns in the first half. How significant is this drive for Georgia?
I think it's really important. I think they've got to do something. That third quarter was strange. Georgia outgained Florida by 20 yards, but they were outscored 10 points to nothing. So right now they trail by 10. They're not out of it by any stretch, but this is a very important series because they've got very good field position and they need to capitalize.
First down and 10, Georgia trailing by 10. Hand off to Smith. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. And let's check in with Jill Arrington.
Quarterback Jesse Palmer, he has re-sprained his right ankle that he hurt in the Mississippi State game. They put ice on it. He's walking on crutches. It doesn't look good.
No, it does not, Jill.
And I'll tell you what, he did some good things for Steve Spurrier's offense when he was in the game. I mean, he gave them a spark. And this was just, he just couldn't get his feet out from under him as he was pulled down from behind by Will Witherspoon.
Second down and 10, Georgia. 3 tight ends. Here's the option pitch. Left side, Musa Smith, and what a job in the backfield by Benny Alexander, number 30.
When we talked to John Hogue about defending the option, he says the biggest thing is you just have to be sound in all your base defenses. You don't have to worry about a dive man. All you have to do is account for the quarterback and the pitch man. And that time, extremely well played by the Florida Gators. They had the quarterback covered and Benny Alexander all over the pitch man.
And bad news for Georgia. Musa Smith limped off after the tackle. He's being tended to on the bench. There is Musa Smith. Third down, Milliken's in. And the Bulldogs go from the shotgun. 4-man Florida rush. Carter comes left, has a man open. Reggie Brown to the 21. 21-yard gain.
Clutch reception this time by Reggie Brown. Pretty good protection for Quincy Carter. He stays in there. And Reggie Brown, who made 4 catches in the opener against Georgia Southern and then pretty much disappeared in this offense. No catches until he had a 40-yard touchdown catch last week against Kentucky. One of those highly prized freshmen out of Carrollton, Georgia.
On first down, they slip the ball to Jasper Sanks. Struggles to get to the 20-yard line. That'll be a gain of 2. Let's find out what's going on with Virginia Tech. Once again, back to New York. Here's Tim.
Vern, you knew it had to happen after a fumble off a snap to reserve quarterback Dave Meyer because Vick is out. John Turman, after the turnover, finds Antonio Bryant his 3rd touchdown catch of the day. Pittsburgh trying to spoil Virginia Tech's national title hopes, up by 7.
You know, Antonio Bryant had over 200 yards receiving against Virginia Tech last year in Pittsburgh. His combination, he and Latif Grimm, are an outstanding wide receiver pair.
2nd down and 8. Option again. Quarterback keeper. And Carter out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Well, this was kind of an option. Yeah, it was actually either a shovel pass or a keep by the quarterback. It's up to Quincy Carter. But he has a guy there that he can shovel it to if he wants to, or he can keep it. Got a nice block outside from Terrence Edwards, also his wide receiver.
Since the first quarter, Georgia with 265 yards. Double tight end set now on 3rd and 1.
No, the play clock is down inside of 10 right now.
Now at 4, and the official says my time.
Oh, we got an injured player down. It looks like the center, Kurt McGill, is down on one knee. Now, one thing that Quincy Carter needs to do is come to the sideline, and whoever they're going to bring in the game at center, he needs to take some snaps from him right now. It looks like Brady Pate will move from guard to center.
There's Pate, who is normally the left guard.
And I really think it's important that they would get a practice snap while McGill was coming off the field. They did not do that. Let's pay attention to this first exchange between Brady Pate and Quincy Carter.
3rd and 1.
Especially on a short yardage situation.
3rd and 1. Good exchange. First down, Georgia at the 10. Jasper Sanks, number 28.
You know, we talked earlier about the game last year. It was 16-14 Florida heading into the 4th quarter, and Georgia had a nice drive as Kurt McGill comes back in the game, and at the 16-yard line, Jasper Sanks fumbled the football. Later, Quincy Carter would fumble on his own too, and in a matter of moments it went from 16-14 to 30-14.
1st and goal, Georgia. Jasper Sanks down to the 6-yard line. So a quick pickup of 4 as he goes between Brady Pate and Kurt McGill.
A couple good hard-nosed runs that time by Jasper Sanks. Good blocking inside. Kurt McGill, Brady Pate.
Jim Donnan. 2nd and goal. This the 10th play of the drive. And Jermaine Phillips is in, number 5. They hand it off to Sanks. Plunges down near the 2-yard line.
Jasper Sanks carries. Dropped at about the 2-yard line.
Well, this is some good short yardage running by Jasper Sanks, following the fullback Hayes.
3rd and goal.
John Stinchcomb, the right tackle, with a good block. And now 3rd down from the 1.5-yard line for the Bulldogs.
Ron Hayes is the blocking back. Sanks the deep back. 3 tight ends. 3rd and goal. Carter hands it off to Sanks, and he is stopped. 4th down.
Decision time for Jim Donnan. You need 2 scores. 10.5 minutes left. It looks like he's going to go for the touchdown here. Sanks trying to go underneath, and nothing there. Good penetration by the Gator defense.
And one of those small little injuries. Musa Smith, who has scored twice, is on the bench with an injury sustained when he was tackled for a loss of 3 earlier in this drive.
I know he's hurting a little bit, but I think you got to put the ball in the hands of Quincy Carter and give him an option to make a play.
They will split Sanks out wide to the right side. Now the motion from Phillips. Here's the option, run and pass. Carter pulls up, fires. Touchdown, Georgia. Jasper Sanks.
Nice play call by Jim Donnan. You start with a tight formation, then you shift them all out, and And Jasper Sanks is going to find his way into the end zone. There he is. He's just standing there with his numbers to the quarterback, not drifting, and giving the quarterback a nice target. Good job getting the quarterback on the edge and giving him the option.
Billy Bennett has it deflected. And a flag is going to be thrown on Marcus Kendo Johnson, number 50.
What a big miss, Vern.
Oh.
We have seen a shank by Florida and a clank by Georgia now.
The try for extra point is no good. We have a dead ball, personal foul against Georgia. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
I saw the reaction, obviously. Billy Bennett, the freshman, had been perfect with extra points so far this season. Take nothing for granted. Doink. A 4-point margin.
Introducing the all-new Silverado Heavy Duty. The most powerful heavy-duty pickup you can get. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Big on taste, but low on cash? Try the new 99-cent BK Cravers menu from Burger King. 8 mouth-watering choices at an unbelievable price. Like the delicious flame-broiled Bullseye Barbecue Deluxe Burger or cheesy mozzarella sticks. Just 99 cents every day at Burger King, where you can get great-tasting food every day. Got the urge?
Need sports equipment? Go to MVP.com. All the best gear, all the best brands, and insight to help you play your best. And right now, get free shipping on any Major League Baseball or World Series gear. MVP.com. Gear up for sport.
Some say pro wrestling is fake, but tell that to the champ who just died in the ring. A freak accident or murder.
Whatever it is, it's not good.
Ernest Borgnine guests all new Walker tonight.
9:50 to go, and during the timeout, the officials changed the penalty call, the unsportsmanlike, and it went against Florida in the form of Travis Harris, number 27, who threw a defensive lineman to the ground.
Well, it's kind of a cheap call, really. I'm not sure that there's a little confusion when it came off the goalpost whether it was a live play. Now, first it's Rader and Kendo Johnson, so they exchange a couple hits, and then Travis Harris with the late push, and it's always the last guy that gets caught.
So the kickoff comes from the 50. We have had 2 extra points missed in this game. Kerouac skims it along the ground. Dropped.
Nice.
And covered. No, a scramble. And they will now rule that Chuck Marks, a freshman running back, covered the ball after he bobbled it.
Well executed by the Georgia special teams. You know, you're at the 50. Why waste a kick into the end zone? Go ahead and squib it, see if you can get better coverage, and pin them inside the 20. Marks is trying to field the ball, doesn't get it cleanly, and then does the smart thing by just falling on it. But a nice choice of strategy by the Georgia special teams.
Man, oh man, he just about did not get that one covered. Here's Caldwell, gets the handoff, tries to slip outside, left side, nothing doing. Tim Wansley, number 2. Let's go back to one of those lost opportunities in the first quarter after the second Georgia interception.
Yeah, Georgia moved down the field. A great play call. They had the throw to the tight end. McMichael, who is usually very sure-handed, dropped a guaranteed touchdown, and Georgia had to settle for a field goal. Right now, they trail by 4.
Grossman on 2nd down and 8. Goes across the middle, wide open. Jabbar Gaffney with a first down at the 36-yard line on a 17-yard gain.
Boy, this is nice work by Rex Grossman, because he stays in there and gets crushed by Seymour and still finds his favorite receiver, Jabbar Gaffney, in the middle of the defense. But Grossman, under duress from Seymour, hangs in there long enough to make the good throw and takes a big hit.
6th catch for Gaffney. He's now over 100 yards for the 4th consecutive game. Gillespie tries to get to the outside. Can't. Down at the 38-yard line. Tony Gilbert with the tackle. Let's go back to New York and to get an update from Tim Brando.
Vern Air Force had a 28-yard field goal blocked on the last play of regulation. And then in overtime, Matt LaVecchio goes to the reverse to Joey Gethrall. Notre Dame still alive for a BCS Bowl. If they can win out, they beat Air Force 34-31 in OT. Vern?
Thanks, Tim. 2nd and 8 here. 4-point game. Quick setup. Grossman. Left side. Gaffney. First down, Florida. At the 48-yard line. Well, the NFL today, tomorrow, doubleheader for you, beginning with the NFL today at 12 noon. With that sextet. And then we'll have doubleheader action in the NFL on CBS.
Are you allowed to say that on TV? Okay.
Yeah, you can. Halftime, NASDAQ.com with Jim, Mike, and Randy Cross. Not that Jim and Mike don't have last names as well. There's a handoff to the 50-yard line. Ernest Graham. We've got 7:35 to go. Jesse Palmer, the senior, started the first 5 games of this season. Did not look good against Mississippi State. The only Florida loss was pulled. Grossman came on, went 13 of 16, earned a starting spot after that. Palmer, we were told by Steve Spurrier, had a very good week of practice. Replaced Grossman in this game, now out with the bad ankle.
And he was the difference for Florida. I mean, he's the one that got Florida in the lead.
On 2nd down. Flip, tipped. Oh, Marcus, it was Charles Grant. 19 instead of 79. 3rd down.
Charles Grant was in a stand-up position that time as a defensive end. So he had a good vision to the ball. Watch him right here. He's standing up, and he comes right into the backfield and then gets his right hand on the football. Big play now for the Georgia Bulldogs. 3rd and 8. They've only blitzed Florida 3 times. Will they come after Rex Grossman right here?
Gaffney goes wide left against Corey Robinson. 5 defensive backs for Georgia. They do not blitz. They stunt. Deep right side, incomplete. Georgia will get it back.
On the coverage, incomplete.
Steve not appearing very happy with the decision Rex Grossman made of where to go with the football. That one wasn't even close.
4th down. Allen Ryan will punt.
Remember, they got a piece of the last one, Kendrell Bell.
Eric Johnson snaps it back. This one away cleanly. And the ball taken at the 23-yard line by Damian Gary.
Damian Gary with the fair catch at the 23-yard line.
27-yard punt. Georgia has the ball back with 6:53 to go.
Chevy Blazer LT. The only vehicle in its class with OnStar and lots of other security features. A little security in an insecure world. Blazer, like our rock.
In 5 billion years, Earth has never seen anything like it. The Honda Rubicon. 500 cc's of extraordinary power and the most advanced automatic ATV transmission to ever run the planet, the Honda-matic. When you're the best on Earth, Earth is your only competition.
The Home Depot College Football on CBS is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, Neutrogena T-Gel, First Union, and by Top Flight XL 2000.
I am reminded watching that Cecilia Seiler, owner of Uga the 5th or 6th, is quoted as saying that her real dog is not fond of the human dog. 6:53 to go in the ball game. 1st and 10, Georgia. Carter, Gary at the 31-yard line. Catch made, it'll be 2nd down. And once again, let's go back to New York and get another update from Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Lee Suggs is really taking over this game. Spencer Tillman's mentioned it often this year. This is not just Michael Vick's team. Suggs proving it again, and Vick cheers on. They're tied at 34 in Blacksburg. Vern?
My, oh my, Tim, thank you. 27-23 here. 2nd down, 2. Hand off to Milliken. And he nudges his way over right guard, and that should be enough to move the chain. Tonight on CBS begins with Paul Sorvino and Ellen Burstyn in the new drama That's Life. Then Chuck Norris stars as Walker, Texas Ranger, followed by Craig T. Nelson in the new hit drama The District. That's all here tonight on CBS.
Vern, 3 guys that I think we got to keep our eye on here for Georgia. Playmakers, Randy McMichael, the tight end, Damian Gary, and Terrence Edwards, the wide receivers. Those are the guys that need to make a play for Jim Donnan's team right now.
Play fake, come left. Here's Terrence Edwards. He's got a blocker in front. Tries to spin out of the Lito Shepherd tackle. But Shepherd makes the stop at the 38-yard line. And if you go back, and if this score stands, the play of the game made by Lito Shepherd, late first half, an interception off Quincy Carter, and a 61-yard return that set up what was then the tying touchdown.
And a nice tackle on that play right there. Florida has done a much better job tackling today than they had earlier in the year. Jesse Palmer out of this game. Quincy Carter starting to heat up. He was 4 of 12 in the first half. He's now 10 of 17 in the second half.
On 2nd down, corner blitz coming. Carter in trouble.
He dropped the ball.
Dropped the ball. Florida has it.
When Quincy Carter started to leave the pocket, he's got to protect the football. Clint Mitchell and Alex Brown team up, and when he feels that, he's got to protect the football. He left it hanging out there with his left hand, and Alex Brown knocked it loose. Clint Mitchell made the first contact, and then Alex Brown knocked the football out.
That is the 3rd Georgia turnover of the game. Carter's fumble recovered by Gus Scott. Here's Grossman play fake. Deep left side for Caldwell. Caught. Worse than goal, Florida.
Vern, you cannot throw the football any better than this. Rex Grossman puts it in a place that only his guy can make the play. Tim Wansley has been the best cornerback for Georgia all year, but he has no chance on this throw. Right on the sideline, either his man catches it or it's out of bounds. Grossman has shown me something today, hanging in there, keeping his poise under duress, overcoming interceptions, and still making big throws.
First and goal after the 27-yard pass and catch. Here's the toss. Gillespie cuts upfield. Touchdown, Florida.
You don't hear about the fullback much in the Florida offense, but Rod Frazier, number 40, with the key block on Tony Gilbert, and Gillespie into the end zone.
The extra point from Jeff Chandler. This time he knocks it home. And there is a flag down on the try for extra point. Gillespie, this time on the ground. Recall, he had the tying touchdown when he dived for the goal line just before the halftime break.
Penalties decline. Try is good.
And how many times in this series has Florida forced a turnover and then taken advantage with touchdowns?
With more of the hottest new releases guaranteed, nobody brings home the magic of the movies like Blockbuster.
Rent The Patriot this week at Blockbuster. Before they were soldiers, they were family. Before there was a nation, there was a fight for freedom. The Patriot, starring Mel Gibson, rated R, guaranteed on VHS and available on DVD at Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, bringing entertainment home.
Now there's a Chevy Venture with flip and fold seats and a built-in entertainment system.
I knew I should have taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
Introducing the Warner Brothers Edition from Chevy Venture, the most versatile minivan ever.
Get $1,000 cash back on any 2001 Chevy Venture. See your Chevy dealer today.
Chevy Venture. We'll be there.
Still getting dandruff flakes? Maybe the problem is your dandruff shampoo. Try Neutrogena T-Gel Intensive Anti-Flake Shampoo. Fights flakes 3 ways. It may not be your first dandruff shampoo. It will be your last. Neutrogena T-Gel. It works.
Running our own e-business suite, Oracle saved $1 billion in 1 year. How much will you save? Oracle. Software powers the internet.
The NFL today.
That's a bad call.
On every frequency, and he makes no sense.
They were going to knock you in the mouth.
Sundays on CBS.
Robert Gillespie gets the touchdown after the 27-yard pass from Grossman to Caldwell. And Rex Grossman. And here's the kick taken by Thornton, a yard in. Comes left. Kevon Ratliff, number 1, the cornerback, the true freshman. And after the fumble by Quincy Carter, Grossman's first play.
And this, as much as anything, is why Florida has held a major upper hand in this series. They get a turnover, they go right for the jugular. They get the big play, and then they convert it with a touchdown. In this ball game, 3 Georgia turnovers have led to 14 of Florida's points. Since 1996, 15 Georgia turnovers, 52 Florida points. That's the difference when these two teams play.
Quincy Carter, as he will never forget, had a fumble in last year's game. Screen pass, tipped. Clint Mitchell, number 94. Now, we mentioned a couple times, if there is a key play in this game, it came on this crossing pattern as Carter went back deep. Late first half, and Lito Shepherd with the interception.
Well, not only did Georgia have momentum and the lead and driving for another possible score, they were up 17-9. The return not only killed that scoring drive, but put the Gators in scoring position of themselves, and they were able to tie it at halftime.
That was a 61-yard return. It led to a 17-7 score at the break. Milliken's in, Carter sets and throws right side. Tackle made by Cromartie immediately on Damian Gary. How's Alabama doing? Let's go back to New York and find out from Timmy B.
Vernon Todd, I think it's safe to say Alabama's the most disappointing team in the country. Javier Borlegui, 37 yards for Central Florida. An alumni loss to Tennessee last week. An upset loss to Central Florida this week. Mike DuBose is in some trouble, new contract or not, in Tuscaloosa.
I got to correct myself, too. The win like that, I called them the Black Knights. They're the Golden Knights. Good win for Central Florida.
Huge. Carter still on his feet, down at the 28-yard line. The clock at 3:39 and running.
You know, one of the problems that Quincy Carter has had in his career, and particularly in the big ball games, is he has had a tendency to sometimes try to force the issue and to make too big of a play. He settled down in the second half. He started to make some nice plays, but then that fumble, when he really should have protected the football and taken the loss, has put his team in a real hole right now.
With just over 3 remaining, it's 4th and 1. Timeout. Play clock, as you saw, was down to 3. Georgia burns one of its 3. They trail by 11.
What kind of a company are we? We're a company of 70,000 people. People not all that different than you. We have families, children. We have your same hopes and fears, your same dreams and expectations. We've come from little towns and big cities, from farms and playgrounds and dusty ball fields, from schools throughout the country, some famous, some small with unknown names. The people of this company are not that much different than you. We're a community, one with a shared conviction that it's our job to make others' lives better and easier and more prosperous and secure. And knowing that if we can just do that, our lives will be better too. Who are we? We're First Union, and that's the kind of company we are.
The sleek 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Ever wondered where's a cop when you need one?
I'm instituting a new shift. You do this and morale will collapse. What do you think, the crooks are home watching their kids?
All new The District, CBS tonight.
Gators trying to go 5-1 in SEC East play. Jim Donnan's team also trying to do that. 4th down and 1. Left side. Brent Milliken picks up the first down for the Bulldogs.
John Hoke and the Gator defense, they don't care about giving up that conversion right now because the clock still goes. It's down as they set the chains, going under 3 minutes. And Georgia still needs to make up 11 points. So Florida content to give up short gains and keep the clock going.
Carter goes right. Catch made by Terrence Edwards. And time now for our CBS Sports Line stat of the game. Florida with 14 points off for 3 Georgia turnovers, and Georgia with 17 points off 3 interceptions and a fumble recovery. For complete college football coverage, go to cbs.sportsline.com. Dropped. Reginald Brown.
Carter's pass intended for Reggie Brown. Incomplete. 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7. And the biggest turnover of the lot, this one.
Yeah, good pressure by Clint Mitchell and Alex Brown, and the ball just hanging out there with one hand by Quincy Carter. And again, last year on his own 2-yard line, he was sacked by Alex Brown and fumbled the football. And Doug Johnson scored on a quarterback sneak soon after that, and the game finished up 30-14.
Comes the pass to Gary, tries to cut inside, now spins. Pretty decent job defensively, so the tackle made at the 39-yard line. Gus Scott, number 37. Alex Brown had those 2 great games last year, became an All-American. Even his dad said, well, Alex, you could have done more. And he had really a so-so season and came alive last game against Auburn.
Yeah, I think the last couple of weeks he's played better. Stop talking to the media. Maybe that was it.
Here's McMichael, the big tight end. And he's out to the 40-yard line after a gain of 20. Randy McMichael makes the catch. Well, Jim Donnan is the coach at UGA. 1-4 against Tennessee. Finally won that one this year. 1-3 against Florida, the one win in '97. They go down to Auburn in a couple of weeks, and he's 2-2 against Georgia Tech.
Well, his team was in position to win this game today. I mean, they had a good plan and made enough plays to be right in the position to win the game, but Florida just made more.
Out to Reginald Brown on the right side. Brown trying to get out of bounds. He does. Yep. Stop the clock.
Pass was played to Reggie Brown. Knocked out of bounds.
1:35 to go. Thaddeus Bullard made the tackle. What remains for Florida, the Gators will go 7-1 if they win this one. At Vanderbilt next week in Nashville, then at home against South Carolina, and then the finale, they go to Tallahassee to take on Florida State. Alex Brown back on the field on 2nd down and 3. Pump, lets it go deep, caught at the 11-yard line. Damian Gary.
Clock stops while they reset the chains. Georgia's got to be thinking right now, touchdown, 2-point conversion, onside kick. Nice job by Quincy Carter stepping up in the pocket, finding a throwing lane, and then ripping it in there to Damian Gary.
Gain of 23, 1:25 to go. The clock is started again. Pump once, fires it low and behind the intended receiver Brown at the 10-yard line.
Good thing it was incomplete. That would have just eaten up time. Would have forced the use of a timeout. At this point from right here, throw to the end zone.
On the sideline, Steve Spurrier has won 9 of 10.
You know, I saw the old ball coach in the tunnel before the game when he was getting ready to come out with his team, and he's hopping up and down. I mean, he gets fired up. I'm sure the way he used to feel when he played.
Tipped in the air. Intercepted. Bam Hardman got it. Alex Brown was there to tangle things up.
Vern, this was a strange play because Damian Gary looked like he wasn't sure whether he should catch it or knock it down. And watch the play develop. Alex Brown is going to get a hand on the ball. He's going to deflect the ball. Now watch Damian Gary. He doesn't know whether to catch it or knock it down. And he kind of goes at it with one hand, and Bam Hardman goes and steals the football. It's up in the air, and Hardman takes it away from Damian Gary. And yet another turnover for John Hoke's defense.
Rex Grossman takes a knee. Georgia can stop the clock twice if they so choose. Coming up tonight, we'll begin with That's Life. Paul Sorvino and Ellen Burstyn. And Chuck Norris stars in Walker, Texas Ranger, followed by Craig T. Nelson in the new hit drama The District. That's the lineup tonight on CBS.
Vern, one thing that we have to keep in mind, too, that has not been talked about yet today, is that Florida stands a good chance to move up in the BCS with a win here. They were number 6. Clemson lost today to Georgia Tech. Nebraska lost to Oklahoma. Virginia Tech is tied in the 4th quarter right now. So Florida stands a chance to not only move up in the SEC, but in the BCS.
And for an update on the Clemson-Georgia Tech game, let's go back to Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, Todd, you mentioned it, and here's how they clinched it. George Godsey to Kerry Watkins, 31-28, and you're absolutely right. A great day for the Peachtree City.
Yes, indeed. I would imagine the clickers were working the remote controls in Atlanta today. 34-23 here. I'm thinking back to a conversation we had, what was it, week 3? We were in Gainesville for Kentucky, Florida. And there was a thought expressed then that this might be the season where a team could really sneak in and steal a national championship.
Well, and the unbeatens continue to fall. Right now, we're only assured of 2 at the end of today's action. Oklahoma stays unbeaten. TCU stays unbeaten, beating Rice today. Virginia Tech, the only other unbeaten. That game still in the balance right now with Pittsburgh.
1:05 to go, and another timeout called. Well, it was 20 years ago in this series, and what was then called the Gator Bowl, that Georgia defeated Florida. Let's listen to the call of Larry Munson. It became an immortal call.
Back, third down on the 8. In trouble. Got a block behind him. Then a throw and a run. Complete to the 25. To the 30. Lindsey's got 35, 40. Lindsey's got 45, 50. 45, 40. Run, Lindsey. 25, 20, 50, 10, 5. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop. Lindsey stop.
That play is known to all who follow Georgia football. Larry Munson, the play-by-play man since 1966, has run Lindsey run. And a very nice article today in the Orlando Sentinel from Mike Bianchi on Lindsey Scott, who has overcome some personal hardships and kind of righted his life.
Ran into Buck Bellew, the quarterback who threw that pass. Saw him down here this weekend. Stayed at our hotel and involved with the pregame and halftime show for Georgia.
Leon Hires, number 79, got a little anxious. Jesse Palmer, injured right ankle. So unable to really enjoy right now his major contribution to this victory.
Face mask.
Yep. Jesse Palmer, 5th-year senior, had such a checkerboard career at Florida and had such high hopes this year. Had the big win at Tennessee.
Yeah. And those numbers didn't look like much, but when Florida needed a spark, Jesse Palmer gave it to him. Rex Grossman was struggling, had thrown 3 interceptions, took him out, got a spark from Palmer, and when Grossman came back in the ballgame, looked like a much different quarterback for Steve Spurrier.
After the penalty, 1st down and 10 with 54 seconds to go. And Georgia out of timeouts. Gators go to 5-1 in the SEC East. Georgia falls to 4-2. 3 second-half turnovers.
And Florida continues their trend of forcing turnovers. That has been the story of their season defensively, and that guy right there, Lito Shepherd, the biggest play of the game for Steve Spurrier.